Do this, share screen.
Yes.
Cool.
Sorry.
Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Great. Let me make this a
Yeah.
little bit bigger on my end and bring up chat.
Yeah, I met a
One
shitload of
second.
people in here today.
Oh yeah, this is the fucking best study group in the world. What do you mean? Of course. Do this. I'm triggered. You seen my session last night. I was there. I'm with you, brother. Cool. So first thing we want to look at, let's look at some common spots here, right? And I think more common in tournaments, we're going to be in that sweet spot of 20 to 40 big blinds when it really matters, mid stages, deep. When you get deeper in tournament, I think this is going to be where we're at a lot when it matters in tournaments. So it's always a good spot to study the most. You know, as tournament players, we should be spending a lot of time kind of at these stack depths and how to, you know, play from there. So let's first start just like with our button spot. Since we're going to get to the button, we'll start at 30 bigs, and it's going to be kind of a standard spot versus the big blind. Button versus big blind strategy. I can make this bigger. And let me know if it's too small or if it looks good to you guys. How about this? Or I can make it.
That looks good.
How about this? Is this too big? There we go. This is probably good. Okay. So what we have here is an aggregate report with 609 different boards that have been ran in Pio, and it's going to give us the best solution or the best strategy versus our big blind range, our button range versus the big blind. And it's going to like give us what it thinks the optimal bet strategy is on different textures versus those on those boards. But first off, I like to look at the range first. What are our ranges in this spot? Some of you guys might have a tighter range, more aggressive, and you could advocate more aggressive or more tighter depending on stacks or whatnot, but we should at least always be here, right? Ace deuce, we're opening all of our offsuit aces, kings, queen, aces, kings, and queens, even jacks as well, why not? Deuces plus, especially in the smaller stakes, in the lower stakes, where you guys, I don't think you're getting 3-bet enough versus most opponents where you can just full frequency some of this stuff. You know,
What percentage is that range, do you know? That's pretty wide.
It is
About 48.
Nah, it might be
It's more than
wider.
that. No, it's more than
No,
that,
it's,
surely.
yeah, it's definitely more than that. Yeah,
It's
we
like
can go
60.
here. It's like 50, 55, I want to say. So we can go here.
That looks bigger than 55.
Okay. Yeah, we can look. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
It's-
a lot of the blanks are on the offsuit side.
King 6. So that range is a little bit wider that we have here. And you will see a pre-flop academy range be a little bit wider. There's so many charts where some charts take off the 0 EV opens here, right? This had partial frequency here. This is 48. That range there, opening deuces on the button and all that, 52, 55%.
Okay, cool.
Personally, I think this range is going to be just fine. And I think this is a range I use. It's not even full frequency here, you know, depending on opponent. Some of these opens are opponent dependent, but most times I think you're going to be just fine. And then this is the BB's defending range. It's pretty wide. Defending its queen deuce, queen 4 off, folding some of these worse offsuit deuces, but it's in there with 5-3 off, 6-4, 3-betting its pairs. So versus this range, our overall averages for c-betting, right? So right away, overall averages across all boards, we're only checking 20% frequent at a 20% frequency. Very infrequently. Ace high boards here, 2% of the time. So it's c-betting range. In this spot, it's mixed between 1-2. I think Toe ran this report and he threw in a 1 option here. So you have 1, 2, 5, and 7. So we have a lot of different bet size options here. And king high boards, it does like to just bet 1 a lot, which is kind of interesting seeing this.
Just a pot of 5.5.
Yep. It should be 5.5 because we open. So is it what size you have here? Just the min raise open? You're muted.
Yeah, it's standard.
Yeah. So yeah, king high boards, it really likes us just to bet one out of every high frequency, not really utilizing any of the bigger bets because obviously the big blind has king deuce off. So they're gonna have a lot of 2-pair combos, so just bet small and frequently a lot. Then you have these boards here where 5, 6, 7 high boards. You remember in our last study groups and prior study groups, as the big blind, these boards are really good for their range. So they get to just check raise the hell out of those boards. So we tend to size up slightly and check a bit more frequently. So we have 45, 40, and 44% checking on those 3 boards. Shouldn't highlight those. So we're checking a whole lot on the low card boards, even at 30 bigs. So you have 3 of those cards. I think you'll find population still trying to oversee bet those boards, thinking people overfold. But this is where you can pick up a lot of additional EV. I think people oversee bet even those boards. EV averages, I don't really look at this and can really explain it very well. But ace high boards, when we bet, we just have a ton of EV. Let me see if anything else jumps out. No, I can't really. I'm not gonna act like I know what the hell. Let me
Can I
get to
ask
my.
you just a question about
Yes,
the
sir.
sizing? How would you generally adjust the sizing when you're playing live against a pretty soft field?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna front load my value hands a lot more. I'm front loading value if they're gonna be overcalling or if they're just gonna overfold either way. And I find live players are sticky. People are
yeah.
sticky as hell. So I'm definitely gonna be front loading. You know, I think you can still get away with smaller c-bet sizes in some instances, which with plans to double barrel good cards and stuff is really good play live that I found just works a lot. You know, if you're not going to front load and you're having a split strategy where you're still going to bet pretty high frequency, you can still bet small with plans to bet a lot of good turn cards, double barrel and triple barrel, and those kind of spots to keep their range wide. If that makes sense.
So does that
Okay.
mean that you're checking more,
On some of these boards,
or are you
these
just
kind
like
of boards,
exploitatively just sizing up your bets with
Yeah,
your
it's sizing up
hands?
value and then checking with like.
well,
larger
yeah, it
bluffs,
just
right?
depends on like you're pulling it. Like if we're literally have opponent we can exploit and we know that they're going to be very sticky in some spots, yeah, I think that would be like the way I would exploit a player like that. In
And
my opinion,
and
for live
live,
poker.
and live, you can also pick up some tells when you bet. If you bet small and they just automatically call, that's usually a good sign to keep going.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of live. I'm not going to act like I'm some live guru. And I defer to playing theoretically
Yeah,
as sound as possible, unless I have a damn good read. And you can find good reads like that live, right?
yeah, you can. Like some people are almost face up.
So I mean, especially live, like you can, yes. So hopefully
you.
that answers that. No, no problem.
Some people will even tell you.
Yeah, they're like holding their cards ready to fold. You know, people do crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
literally holding their cards up in the air. Like,
I've got guys at my local game that'll literally grab their chips and start like picking them up and dropping them in their other hand, and then as soon as everyone folds, they just drop them out.
you ever
Like,
start reaching for chips and they're like, "Go ahead." That's the best. I mean, you know.
there's some people who fake it, but there's some people who like will honestly just sit there with the chips in their hand, and the second everyone folds, they just drop them in the pot.
I love that.
I do a lot
Um,
of fake tails live. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. We
Yeah.
might have to have a
There's a
a
funny
nice little
picture.
discussion. And then I think one thing, do you guys think it would be a good idea to have a study group one time, right? We have live tails and we talk about, and we just map them all out. We type them out and, you know, we have kind of a Bible of all of the things we've seen live and kind of get some little things from each other. I think that'd be kind of cool to maybe mix in for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I definitely play live, so I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna have to keep that as a way
I play live as well. I'm not particularly good looking for tells. I need to improve that, but I play a bit of live.
Hold on.
Well,
I mean, I
My
can't tell you.
notepad.
But
Dylan,
very
let me-
soft fields. Very
I
soft.
Dylan,
can't
let
tell
me
you
ask
how
you a
often
que-
people
One at a time, guys.
are looking at their cards and go like this. You know, like they're just, you can see they're just completely uninterested, or
On
they
my
look
notepad.
at their cards and look at a flop and they're like, you know, they make that face. It happens constantly.
All right.
Dylan, can I ask you one question real quick?
Sure.
When you play live, do you look at the flop or do you look at the players?
Oh no, I usually look at the players. It's just
Okay.
like keeping focus and like sometimes I miss
That's
it.
one mistake I see everybody making.
Yeah.
Watch the players, watch the flop.
Cause they get, the
Yeah.
first instinct is usually the best tell.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get back on track. But I thought it's always good to mix it up and like have those kind of conversations because there's some good nuggets out there for you guys to pick up on, and we can all learn from one another. So here, still looking at the big blind button versus big blind. Let's categorize this by flops. Flops that we're never checking, right? Flops that we're betting the most frequently right now is how I have this categorized. And right away, all these paired boards, paired paint, are carrying, the first 20, 40, 30, 30 boards or something like that. We're still into the paired boards. Paired boards. Why is it only paired boards?
You're filtering
Oh,
from last
piss.
time.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Click clear.
Clear.
Yeah.
Up.
Oh my
no, click,
God.
no, that's right. Go back into the filter and
He's
then
lost
see
it.
clear and blue text.
Yeah,
That's
there
it.
you go.
Yeah,
Right here.
hit that
Okay.
and go okay.
Oh,
Did I
no,
break?
Then click no and paired.
No?
And paired.
In clear?
And paired.
And pad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now click OK.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Oh, it was fine
God.
before. No, it was fine before. We were just scrolled down.
Oh, I just.
We just scrolled down all the way.
What would I
When
do
you
without
cleared-
you
Yeah,
guys?
clear the
What would
filter,
I
clear the
do?
filter. It'll still work, right?
This
Just
is
check.
why he plays poker and has never worked.
Oh
remotely
no,
in
you
office
have to
job.
select the filter. There you go. It
Oh,
was
you
right.
have to select it.
So
It
you
was
do have to
okay.
select. Apologize.
No problem.
We know now. We know now.
613 boards, it says. All right, yeah. So it wasn't all pair. I was like, what the fuck? All right. So ooh. Okay, I didn't have it filtered. Now here we go. Still
That's
a lot of
better.
paired boards up there. Paired paint.
I find it really interesting that the standard play is to bet small on paired boards, and the standard play from the big blind in the spot is to check raise like fucking 80% of range, and that's just we're just gonna play this little
But
game.
no,
where
no,
I'm gonna
so
see
the
that
different-
range,
the
and you're gonna
difference,
check raise
though-
range, and we'll go from there.
No, so the we were looking last time. We were looking at the check raising was when it was really low pad boards, like sevens,
Yep.
eights, sixes.
Yeah,
This
these are
one,
all
if you
paint.
scroll to the top, these are all big cards like aces, queens, kings.
Yep. So we got some
They're
8,
all-
8, 3 in there as well.
Two paint cards because
Yep.
they would check. They would 3-bet pre mostly.
Yep. And if you're also looking over here at our bet size, when we're betting so frequently, it's going to be either one or two. It's pretty small. The EV is going to be pretty close between two. So what's up, Jackson? Good to see you, buddy. How about some non-paired boards? Can I not mess this up? Oh, baby. Non-paired boards, ace, ace high boards. Go crazy. We saw that in the last averages chart. We are betting range on damn near these ace high boards. So you can see that's pretty consistent here.
And then disconnected king high boards are in there too.
Disconnected. Yep. Disconnected
Yep.
king high boards, king jack 6, king jack 3, king 7 deuce,
Okay.
king 5 deuce. Yep. King 10 deuce, king 5 deuce. Yeah, all these ace high boards are just raining, dude. I mean, queen jack 10, of course, they don't have ace king ever. We do. Queen 9 to another one. Too high card disconnected. But yeah, we're just scrolling down. Now we're to the like 15%. So we have a pretty good idea. Now let's get to the boards we are checking most frequently. We should know what this is. It's 7-6-4, stuff like that, right? Checking for 9-6-4, 5-4-3, 8-6-4, 7-6-3. These boards.
They're low connected boards. We're checking.
Low
half the time.
Minute and mid
connected
connected, yeah.
board. And then when we are betting, look at these
Huge.
sizes as well.
Seven
This is
six three
where-
says disconnect.
That big.
This is where you guys, if you see this right now, and the big takeaway is
Big and
your opponents won't be betting big and frequently because they're not studying. They're going to do this, right? And
Yeah,
then you need to see in the solver when they do that, you wreck them with by check raising, continuing, never folding, right? You make their lives hell on these boards because most
so
people are just using a small bet on these boards.
when we're betting big here, like, since it's only half it, like, what does that range look like? That's what I wanna sort of, like, on those sort of low connected boards, like, what are we betting with? Just over pairs and top pairs? Or it's gonna be more than that, cause it's still 45% of our hands are betting.
And you know what? It's
Monster
also going to
draws.
use some of the same type of combos that match the same type of value hands that you would go big with in these spots as well, with the overs in the two overs, the backdoor flush draw. It's not going to really show down, but it were consistent with the same range of hands you would use a giant bet with as well. To maximize your bluff equity, and you're going to turn equity with a lot of those. But I don't want to spend too much time kind of talking about it as much because we'll be able to see the exercises. We'll
Later
be
on,
able to
yeah.
look at it in a trainer, and then we're going to also, because this is all like a prelude before we get into looking deep into how we should be focusing on our turn barreling, right? So,
Right.
and then we have to have that conversation about how population, because we need to be talking about how population shows up in these spots. We can't just always talk about the solver because at these $5 to $100 tournaments, man, these cats aren't even close to meeting MDF in some of these spots, or they're making betting errors, or on parrot boards, they're going half pot every time, you know?
And just to add one thing, Affleck, if anybody's interested, Affleck's session last night was on over betting on flop, and we went over.
9-5 deuce,
Yeah,
9-5 deuce.
always.
That's my board. That's the 9-5 deuce rainbow. But yeah, there's definitely some overbet, especially at like 50, 60 plus BBs on flop versus big B. You just get to overbet, see that. So here we have highest check frequency. We can keep scrolling down, but it's going to be pretty consistent. Right away, we haven't seen one card over a 10. It's 3 cards under a 9. Look, 3 cards under a 9. 2 tones, a lot of that as well. Uh-oh, somebody's dying. We're gonna have to mute.
We told you call 911.
Yeah.
I'll just let the guy
What do you-
die.
What do you smoke?
We do have some queen high boards starting to appear as well. Queen 8-6. These queen high boards, 2-tone with straight draws, a lot of connectivity. Are going to be in it. Queen 9-6. These queen high boards are deceptively good for big blind range as well, and they're going to be able to check raise and continue a lot. So we're checking about half the time. I think I'm probably over C betting some of these queen high boards, looking at this as well. All right, cool. So we have the gist, and I think if we go from 20 to 40, what we're trying to just understand and see here is kind of like the structure of the board types
C-bet
and the
range.
bet types. You're gonna be able to see bet a lot, you know, in the same type of board types across 20 to 40 big blinds. It's not gonna change much. These 3 low card boards, these boards under a 9, gonna be bad. Ace high boards, good. Parrot boards, good. You know, that's all gonna stay pretty consistent from there. We'll quickly go through the averages since this helps people from a visualization standpoint. You can see here paired boards. If we start right to left, paired boards, great. Bet. Only checking 11% of the time. Rainbow, 2-tone, not really matters. Monotone boards. I think people in position, more inexperienced players see monotone boards and they don't have the suit and they want to just check back. No, you bet small, and it's going to print. And here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8 high boards. Pretty bad, man. We're checking a lot. And when you do bet, look how infrequently you are using that small bet across these 3 board types.
This is for button versus big blind, correct?
Button versus big blind, correct. And then when we get to cutoff versus big blind, it'll still be fairly comparable, right? We're just trying to look for the major takeaways for board types versus the big blind defending range and then our opening range in late position or button here. King high boards, bet pretty frequently. We get to use the small size. We mix in some big sizes as well. And then the king ace high boards. Don't check.
Right, does
Pretty
the big
much.
blind have a lot of king suited? I mean, in general, I guess. Calling.
Yeah, you've seen the big blind range here. I mean, it's
Yeah. The king suited, some ace, right? I guess.
I mean, oh wait a minute, here we go.
He's got everything there.
Everything.
His range is really
yeah.
wide.
but they're just three
Well-
betting here, you know.
Yeah, they don't have the top aces, kings, queens.
Or any pairs. Ah, that's
I wanna see
interesting.
something. I want to see what
That's
their range.
interesting. Can I
So
just
their
point something
range-
out when
go
you gotta
ahead.
say crazy?
No, no problem, man.
It's just looking at that range, I don't think the population is three betting all pairs. Not even close.
Right.
But big blind versus button. I think they're like flooding a lot to see flops.
No.
I don't know how much that would change our strategy, but
It's I mean, these kind of things are great to have in discussion, right? We train to play against the best, and you train to not give up EV versus a solver, but taking into account how population plays is always going to be important, right?
yeah. And the only other thing I was gonna say with the visualization thing before,
Mhm.
I just wanted to point out something. Can you just bring it up for 1 second?
The graphs
The
here.
graphs, yeah.
Yes.
So just have a look at the queen high boards, right? I thought it was really interesting. Across the board with queen high boards
Here we
in that
go,
top
yeah.
graph, where'd it go?
This
Oh,
is-
just-
these are-
I just wanted to point out, like the overall queen high boards, we're only checking 19% of the time. But remember there was those queen high boards where it was like 45 and 50% checks.
Yep, this.
So we
queen
really
7,
have
8,
to
queen 6,
distinguish
7.
between, yeah, like the queen middle rag versus the queen medium connected. Cause there's a huge difference in strategy there.
Yeah, and there's maybe a handful of specific boards, and that's a great point. Queen 7, 8, Queen 5, 6, two-tone, Queen 8, 9, Queen 8, 9 is probably pretty good for us because we open Jack 10s. But I imagine we're going to be checking that board. We can even just go straight. We don't have just queen high boards, but Broadway boards, high, mid. Yeah, I mean, it probably falls into this high, mid category, right? Connected. There's 33% here, you know. And I think it's going to go a lot to those queen high boards. If I filter it, I'm trying to think.
I just thought I'd point that out for our exercise
cool.
because
Queen
like, yeah,
7,
it's
8,
very frequently
queen
betting
9,
on queen high
6.
boards, but the ones that are very disconnected must be like even 90% or higher, and the ones that are very connected are very low, or very
Yeah,
high, very low betting frequency comparatively.
Yeah, it's a, I mean, yeah, it's a good point because all these boards here, like we were saying, Queen 8, 5, Queen 9, 6, Queen 8, 6. It's like these real like Queen 2 connected paint middling cards, Queen 7, 5. You know, these boards are really tough.
I'm surprised that
two-tone.
we're not betting those bigger. Because I would expect that the hands that we're betting, right, we want the
No, we are.
break draws to fold. No, but if you look there, we're not over
we're
betting those
not.
parts.
We're not going to over condense their continuing range. You're going to have two pair very strong draws, two pair hands and stuff like that. When you look at the equities here, they're just going to have full frequency of Queen 6, 5, 6 and stuff like that. Although we have in like very strong draws on two-tone and some of these two-tone boards. So I'm not exactly sure we use a ton of massive bets.
All right, it's just a lot of betting too. Interesting.
Yeah, we can. I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll see this in the solver as well. But I don't think we're going to go large, even though it's not bet very frequently on these type of boards.
So you think it's
Some
because
Some of our range will, like our best queen, we will certainly have a range of hands we want to go large here with.
Sixes, and while you're on this page, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, yeah, no problem about it.
Thank you, sir. Can you sort by imposition equity,
Sure.
which is at the very top in the green? There you go.
I'll go to the top as well. Let me make sure. Yeah, this is,
So ZA.
yep, in position equity. 4,
Yes.
5, 6.
Okay, so it's sort of the other way, I think.
That's what, yeah.
ZA.
Oh, there it is. This is our highest equity board. Yeah. So these are our highest equity boards. All these ace high boards.
Yeah,
And the other one was our lowest equity. That was funny. I was like, what the fuck? All right.
I think the quick takeaway here is 2 high cards, we bet all the time.
All the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Look at this. You could just bet one. Just bet.
Can I
Damn.
chime in for a second?
Yes, sir.
I noticed a lot with the trainer and wizard that in position, and obviously there's some exceptions, but the big bet is like almost always capped at like 60% when you're on the flop in position. Like this, sometimes you go bigger, but just feels like there's almost no over bets. I don't know if you can find,
Well, I mean, it's saying there are, and it's infrequent, and it'll use it even though it'll be minus EV to randomize. If that makes sense. It's going to randomize and make a slight EV mistake and just still have big bets in its range. I think our buddy Eugene talks about that a lot. He just rolls the big raise size, but yeah, it's not gonna use it as the best option, but it will use it as a viable correct option, right? It's never gonna be the highest EV best, but it's a good viable option, especially if you're mixing and randomizing to do sometimes. But that's beyond what we're trying to do. I'm just trying to play, good. But I just wanted to do a quick button versus big blind, get a quick refresher, I should say, on our betting strategy before we get into in position versus BB, and then start getting into the turn stuff and getting into our turn strategy, because we don't have a solved turn strategy. We would have to solve it for every single card. I think we'd have to run it for every card. Is that the way it works, Toe? Like, yeah. So that sounds kind of hellacious. But nonetheless, we're going to start there. Did anyone have anything on this report? I know sometimes I get DMs. Sometimes I wish you would have spent a little bit more time on this or anything like that. So
Yeah,
Like,
I just had a question about the bet sizing. So if this is like a 5-bet pot, like a bet 1 versus bet 5, like that kind of stuff, I don't really understand.
yeah, so it is going to prefer to have some over bets and big bets in its range in some of these spots.
I think it's just a number of big blinds.
But-
Like
Yeah, this is
one's
bet
just
one,
big blind.
bet one big blind, bet 2 big blinds, bet 5 big blinds, bet
Okay.
7, bet
And
9. Yeah,
And the
the
pot
pot
is
starts
5.5. The pot is
big.
5.
yeah, I
5.5
think,
in the pot.
yeah, the sims start with 5.5 big blinds in the middle.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
my bad.
Last question here. So, we're looking at in position equity, like it likes ace, queen, 10 boards, nines a lot. What boards are we checking often? Like it's better for out of position.
Yeah, we were just looking at that. It's going to be 3 low cards, 9 and 3 low cards under a 9 that are pretty connected. So, I mean, those are boards we're never checking. And then we can look at the boards we're checking the most frequently. I think we looked at this earlier, but we could also sort this by what's the highest out of position equity, since we've already done that. That's the lowest.
Yeah.
And then the highest is just. And then on these boards where it's the highest out of position equity, we don't have it ran for them to have leads. They're going to have some leads on these boards as well. Like they don't have any leads given this configuration.
Oh, this is not PySolver here is not set up to recognize donk bets.
Well, I
What?
mean, you have to
This
run
is-
it with
this
one
report
way or
is assuming
another.
they
I
check.
see. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
this report is assuming no, but you have to have a report that is assuming yes, which changes.
Yeah. I guess we're reacting differently. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are we mixing here on boards that favor them, or are we mostly checking? I mean, or
You can see, yeah, our strategy here on boards that are super good for out of position. We're checking half the time.
okay,
We are just wrecked.
checking
Like
more.
on these boards. I mean, yeah, you can't just bet range on 4, 5,
Right.
6. Like, you got to be very careful. Look, I mean, just take a quick glance at all these boards.
Right. If not, we're playing
And-
face up. Right.
And then the sneaky ones that I think a lot of people that are unstudied, these queen high two-tone middling cards. Yeah, these two-tone middling cards, you got to be very careful. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much those. And then when we do bet on some of these boards, we check. We do bet some smaller, but we also pot it or go giant, you know. Also mixing some bigger bets in here as well for some of these boards. So, cool. Yeah. Did anyone else have any questions about this report before we move on out of it? Cool. So yeah, one thing I think I was setting it up earlier, and I can make sure everything's good here. Go here. Wait a minute. I'm gonna make sure this is good. So we're gonna look at 20 to 40. We are going to just have an RFI range. We're going to get to the flop so we don't waste a lot of time. And we're going to have our 20 to 40 big blind opening range versus the BB. Beats, does this all look good to me? Single raise pod. I could start here. I don't need any. I can start here, right?
Yeah, you can do single raise pot.
Yeah, and then it will start right on the flop. with
We're
opening
cut off or
range.
button. They're big blind.
Yeah. Yep. We're good. Maybe get
change that
Yeah, relative hero position.
relative hero position.
yeah.
Just
Put
change
it,
that to any. No, above that.
yes, any. Oh
Because
yeah,
then
any.
that'll
Don't we
force it.
want in position?
Well,
We
it's
want
going to
in posi-
automatically put us in position, but it's
Oh,
just
right,
easier to
right.
leave it on any.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yep.
Because sometimes you put it in position or out of position like this, and it'll mess it up.
Cool. We'll do a few of these and then we're going to really focus in, and we probably will spend a little bit of time manufacturing different turn cards and asking ourselves questions on if it's this turn card, should we be still barreling as opposed to this? So we get a real good idea in future sessions how we should be proceeding. So we'll go here. All right. So right away we get a monotone board. And Robert, you were here bright and early, so I assume you're hungry to get better. Sir, what are you doing here?
Um,
Robert Becker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RB.
I would say maybe bet two.
All right. So yeah, definitely betting. I wonder if it's just 1.2 is going to be good. Anyone else have an opinion? Is anyone checking here? Importantly.
I was gonna say you definitely can check, but if you're gonna bet, it's gonna be split between 1.2 and 2. But
Agreed.
I would say it's probably about 60% bet and 40% check in that range.
Dude.
But
Oof, I would probably bet way more than that, but
Is-
60-40. Yeah, I would probably in game as well. I'm probably betting way more in game. And if the EV is only slightly higher here, because the fold equity always, right?
Yeah.
Any bigger bet, we never use the big sizing. I tend to use this sizing a little bit more, too much in game.
Interesting that the correct quote unquote perfect answer is check, but it's also less EV than the bet.
Yeah, because the bet always has a little bit of fold equity in these kind of spots.
Yeah, right.
Is it important to know what are the chances of another, spade, arriving on the turn
No.
or no?
No, I mean, our range is just going to be able to bet and check at a reasonable frequency. And then I think overall we're going to have a lot more nutted spades, even though he's just going to have like some offsuit ace-x, even some suited ace-x nuts he just calls with as well. So, but I think overall we're just going to have a slightly stronger range here in position. Robert Becker is still on you, buddy.
Okay. So I think ace is in both of our range here. We have a queen. I'm probably still betting again. I don't really have a good bet strategy, so I normally just bet about third to half pot. So like I probably go with the bet 3.35 here.
Okay. Yeah, this is what's going to be really good. Today's session is like really diving into these turn spots. Easy to feel lost. There's a lot of different situations where we can bet a lot of various amount of bet sizes on turns. So yeah, this is tough. Anybody checking this?
Yeah, I think I would check here.
Feeling
I mean, I don't know. You know, my thinking is this, you know, we bet the flop, he called. If you know, if he does have an ace, he's probably floating with a lot of ace X with the ace of spades. So I don't think he has as much aces as he has maybe draws or middle to low pairs. What do you think?
Yeah, my first instinct was also to check because a hand kind of becomes a little bit marginal, but the ace is a good card for our range. We're still getting a lot of value from a lot of flush and straight draws that haven't got there yet. And if we
Right.
check it here, we're playing pretty face up. We're pretty much just saying that we're giving up on a draw or we have a queen exactly. And I think it's gonna bet a lot on the ace because it's our card.
But I
Yeah,
think
it's a
we
really-
want,
okay,
I think we
Michael.
want to check. And then now we get value out of any of his stuff that he decides to take a stab with on the river.
The problem is there's so many cards on the river that actually will win the pot for him.
And then when he does bet on river, it's interesting because does your hand stand up as a good enough bluff catcher versus his actual value range and a lot of different river cards? Even here, it's kind of tough, right? So
I think we're barreling and then checking back river a lot of the time.
yeah,
If you
this is
check
gonna be-
here, you're
It's
letting him
exploiting the
realize his
board.
equity for free, and he's in such with such a wide range
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
big blind. He could easily just bink a flush on us or the straight with a one card straight or one card flush. So definitely need to bet, and I think you need to bet big here.
And this is interesting. Now, we've seen mix. It feels like it's 50-50. Robert was betting small. Cody wants to go a little bit bigger.
Do we ever
Dylan
bet
was a
big
little
when
bit
there's an
different.
overcard and a flush completer and a straight out there? Like big seems
Well,
crazy.
I feel like we need to bet. I mean, it's the solver might like to bet here because, you know, it is a good card for our range, single spade hand. We went small, 10x with the spade. There's a reasonable amount of hands we get value from, but let's go
And we're
ahead and bet.
unblocking flush draws as well.
Yeah, all the jack X, single jack X flush draws. You know, the solver needs to meet MDF on the flop with the variety of hands. It's never folding a pair, a jack, a spade. And this card's good for our range.
Yeah.
I feel like bet. But Robert wanted to go 33, I believe. So we're gonna do
that's the
that.
one I chose.
Okay, let's see what the solver thinks about that. And then we can start to look at
I would check
how it
check.
feels. It likes to check and it never ever wants to go big.
Yeah, you never go big with a flush
Oh.
completer out there and
But-
straight out there.
Robert, it doesn't hate your bet, honestly. It actually is a slightly higher EV play than checking and it's mixing it. So kudos there. And it's always funny here. Everybody's right in a way, right? You can advocate a reason to bet for the reasons of their continuing range is going to have enough single spade hands, jack X, 10x, 9x. And then we can also check because our hand is good enough to show down. So the solver is also on board with both, but never
As
go
long as you
big.
don't, as long as you don't go big.
As long as you don't go big. So that's pretty reassuring to everybody. We're not making a mistake there. Are you ever calling this Robert?
No.
Yeah, I feel like I got pulled here. I
Oh,
feel like that's why I bet was like to see like temperature gauge.
Yeah, I feel you.
And,
So
like,
you
I'm
didn't
just
have to
gonna trust
pay
the gauge
more.
here.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the ace coming, and I mean, I think the solver probably likes to check a lot just to protect our
Protect that.
range,
Yep.
you know, and to protect against him doing that because he's got so much that he can do that with, and we just have to fold.
So overall strategy on this flop, actually checking a little bit more than I thought. Checking 30% here. You know, when we looked at the last graph, the monotone boards were betting a lot more, but this one's pretty connected.
But it's because that queen connected board, right?
Yeah, them queen connect, even queen 9-10, right? Them queen middle, even queen 9-10 kind of falls in that category of can't go too crazy.
But the worst
Um,
ones were the queen
5,
6, 7.
6,
Yeah,
queen
yeah,
6, 7, queen 5, 6,
yeah.
2.
Like 50% almost.
Yep.
Are people doing this in game? Well, I don't think population check raise bluffs like he just did, right? On the turn? Or do they?
Depends on your game. I mean, we
Yeah,
all
depends on-
have, everybody in this room has a different population, sir. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
some people in here are playing on GG. Some of us are battling on ACR. Some of us just stick to global and Iggy. Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Some people are gatekeeping the micros and the free rolls, like B Money.
So talking about population
Yeah.
is not gonna have much merit.
We bet 2, so BB. Yeah, it's gonna have a bearing to you, you know. If you have people playing comparable ones, you can kind of learn. This is their calling range, and you can check raise.
I don't know how different it
is.
is, but didn't we bet 3.35?
No, the BB. No, we bet 2 on the flop. We
Oh,
only
on the
bet
flop.
2.
Oh, sorry, flop. My apologies.
So we get to the turn ace. Now here's our barrel strategy. Whoa, you're never checking. See, this is what. And we said we never go big. We just don't go big with that specific combo because you do have 55% bets. So it is a thing.
Wait, so it's at 55%. So was
Yeah,
it
but it's
best
always gonna be your
queens?
flushes and your.
You are
Yeah.
checking, you are checking
Flush.
the area of hands that we have. Queen 7, queen 6, queen
Most of your
5.
queens are checking. They shut out value.
Yeah, you're gonna check your weak queens and then you're gonna
Yes,
check
sir.
your king, queen.
King Queen's a good one to check. Yep. Too much showdown, gut
the-
shot.
Jack 10.
Yep, makes
Yeah,
sense.
parent open.
Showdown, pairing,
Raised.
yeah, we just have enough showdown. All these queen decks kind of fall in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else,
All
just
your
kinda-
flush draws, all your
all your
ace
stone
of
bluffs,
spades,
The king
Your
high
king of
ones are the ones that
spades.
miss a lot.
king
Could you-
7.
King
Could
7
you
hearts.
just mouse over the bet 5.55 so you can see the filters?
Yeah,
So what's
sure,
it?
right here.
Yeah, what's it? Straight flushes betting? No.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, you can just see you can see the pink. Just look for the pink sort of thing.
Yep.
Flushes,
Okay.
straights, sets, 2
Your
pairs,
straight,
So that's 2 pairs,
set,
top pair.
and then combo draws.
2 pair,
Yeah, cool.
top pairs, all under pair, kings, it likes a bet. Second pair is where we find a lot of some checking on turn. Third pairs,
Yeah,
also
second pair with no redraw. You're gonna check a lot.
some of your low players just turning their hands into bluffs. The 9x is kind of interesting. I think a lot of people are finding checks on turns here a lot, too much.
Yeah,
I think this is a range where a lot of people would misplay, in my opinion, and not
I'm gonna
double barrel
overcheck
this.
that.
Yeah. Weak population doesn't find the turn checkways with the combo draws, but ACR they're definitely finding it. Hell yeah. But I think too many people are checking here.
Like
Maybe
9-5
substantial
suited.
raise.
I
King
don't know that I'm
9.
gonna find that.
I mean, you have the 9-5. You're not really trying to show it down. The ace good. Just
Right,
go for it.
but-
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Do we want to keep going with this? We want to get more hands in. We really don't want to don't need to follow through with the whole hand. Today's is really focusing on our turn strategy. What if the turn actually is a straightening card? So like this. How does our strategy change when this card?
Pull
oh,
up
you-
the.
50-50.
more check
Wow.
back.
You check.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
What's the-
you can
Yes.
go to reports as well, and it'll show you on all the cards on the turn.
Yeah, there's not many. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna be checking overall on all these turns. Is this 60%? Oh, that's just for the king.
We're
Okay.
checking a lot. We're basically only betting non-spade aces.
Yeah, aces are just the ones. You go
Yeah.
crazy. Everything else you're checking a lot, and you're kind of playing your hand for the value of it, and it's almost just. whew. And it
I guess
range
it
bets
is just
almost
becoming
non-showdown
into
value hands.
marginal. Like it is just
Well, I
becoming a
mean-
marginal main hand. You just want to see the river basically, see the showdown.
And and you have to remember that the big blind in that spot is like they're never gonna have ace king, ace queen, ace jack.
No, but they got a lot
Um,
more flushes and straights than you do.
Yeah, no, they do, but it's when it's an ace that comes in with the queen, they don't have. I mean, it just eliminates like a lot of the top of range for them. That's not a
Sure,
flush.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's why we're gonna bet that a lot more.
The paired board, why is that blank? What are we doing when the queen 10 or 9 comes in?
It just depends on your hand and range there. It's mostly
Okay.
checking 50-50 a lot in those
Okay.
spots.
Okay.
Let's see. Kind of want to get a bunch of hands in. I know we can easily spend like 20 minutes looking, but I want to get some reps on getting through turns.
Yep.
Let's see. Aaron, I see you go ahead and typing in chat. You want to play this hand, buddy?
Oh no, I was just gonna type in the cheeky bet, then get check raised and call, because that's all he's doing.
You're at 20% of 33.
I will go 33, a little bit big. Why not?
All right. 33. I think may just.
Oh, it's a mistake. Whatever.
Oh.
I'm bad at poker.
Oh, well, I mean, I would have bet this just like almost.
Because the sixes are
Quarter
in
it or
that
check,
middle
yeah.
range where the big blind's happy, right?
They're gonna have
Yeah.
bets,
We have sixes, yeah.
the
Six, king
X.
6 suited.
0.5% of the time. It's kind of a thing. Maybe let's see what the solver does. You get away with it? Nope.
I didn't even check raise me. Fuck.
It's easier when you get check raised almost. Now what are you doing?
I'm just firing again. Whatever. I probably
that?
shouldn't, but
Whatever, YOLO
This
it.
is the real
55.
life.
done.
Hello.
This is what
This is how
happens
I
in real
play,
life.
so-
This is how people actually play. So it's good to see what the solver thinks of your play. Right now, it does not like it.
Nope, it's gonna hate this more, I think. That's fine.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hate it. I'm not gonna. We can't. It's just you can't do that. You meant to say you wanted to check or bet something.
You just have to ask yourself if you're betting here on the turn, are you betting for value? Or
Like,
betting as a
yeah.
bluff? You're betting for value. What's worse? It's calling, and nothing.
Fair. If anything's worth calling, it's
Betting as a
1.9.
bluff.
Well,
What's better? That's folding. Nothing.
Yeah, you do this little ass bet just to get the showdown or something like that. Like, so you don't have to get owned on river and just fold the best hand versus the big bet that's coming, or have to bluff catch. versus
SPR is
dead.
a big thing here too. You're only 20 deep, so like
Here.
you
Yeah.
get bet and get raised. You hate folding tens here, right? That sucks.
You wanted to
have
bet.
fold
so let's
tens
give it
here.
to
That is true.
And now you beat everything but a king. Now flush came in, like
Well,
Now
fuck
what?
it, I'm not folding to that.
The
he blockered
disrespect.
it though, so yeah, you gotta call. You just got the nuts. Just got it.
90-10.
That's so disgusting. Let's go ahead and look at this hand as if we
I hate that
played
the
it-
solver says 100% call there. Like it
Right.
goes bet, call, bet, call, and then he blockers. Like, is he ever like would your tens be?
Right.
Maybe
nothing?
the solve is just inaccurate there because they'll
Nothing.
pre-solved and it's like that line is like so wild.
MDF is a cruel mistress.
Right away, this is pretty interesting. If you look at this, and this is something that you don't see very even on King 6-6 here, the big blind can lead. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Some leading here on King 6-6.
Because
Yeah.
of all those sixes they
Cause
have.
he's got such a wide range. he's
Man.
gonna do
Literally
something with
every
it.
six,
He's
every
got-
suited
he's got-
six.
Yeah,
Almost every
suited.
king, and he's got every suited six and almost every offsuit six.
Damn. This is pretty crazy. Now our tens, all the underpairs, jacks, queens. I mean, you just check. Damn near, you can just mix check with every single pair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it shows like the EV is like higher for one, but if you wanted to check it, you're not making a mistake. None of these hands checking any of these pairs would be a mistake. It is betting some of the non-showdown hands, kind of wrapping some of these ace highs it bets for just clean up its equity a lot of times. Some of the 7x. So, all right, let's say in game, you know damn well you're gonna bet. Don't act like you're not gonna still see bet this tonight full frequency when you get here, because you're gonna tell yourself the guy in the big blind's weak.
Well, he's got a bunch of
Everybody in
air.
this room
I
is
mean,
gonna
just-
do it.
yeah.
Everybody, they're gonna say he overfolds, so I'm gonna see bet here range no matter what. And then when you do that, and the guy just calls because they should be check raising, but they don't know how to check raise and they call. What is our barrel range gonna look like on some blank? Let's throw the 3 out there, right?
Not after today's study session.
Yeah, dude, it's you know,
But you
you're
know,
gonna
we
do
still
it.
will.
You know damn
Range.
well.
Wow,
Wow.
okay,
But this
oh,
is
I'll have
comfortable.
sixes. We bet sixes and strong kings. And
How
never
about
pairs.
some of the
Still got a
dog
lot
shit
of
in my
air, though.
range? Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah,
you should be
Complete
focused
garbage.
on your
Sevens
air.
and-
You're gonna act like you're gonna have a hand here. You're gonna have Jack 10 here. You know it. So what do you do with your Jack 10s and stuff? You just bluff.
You
For a
three
small
barrel and then
size.
the guy rivers a flush.
Yeah.
You just Kobe it
Yep.
and then
You hate your
He's
life,
dead.
but you did it right.
I don't.
Silver
think we can call
approved.
You did it right. Yep.
But the important takeaway here is we'll look at the report as well. When you get in this situation in real life, you know, I think people are gonna have ace high and they're gonna have the goods here that they don't know to check raise. They're gonna just call with the king X in real life in this situation. But if you are gonna bet as a bluff, it can only be small, right? The 4.4 looks like we can go here to the good this.
I mean, assuming he's floating properly, then yeah, he's still gonna have a bunch of air that's folding. You
Yeah,
get ace high to
trips.
fold, you're freaking winning like mega good here.
Yeah.
There
He's
you go,
gonna
using
float
that
a
word
lot of ace highs
assuming.
probably.
And all the suited like ace highs are gonna fold now
Yeah,
because there's
with
no
back
flush.
doors and everything's supposed to float, so if you can get that to fold now by a double barrel, you're freaking, you know,
Printing.
Jack 10's freaking
Well,
printing here if you can get them to fold, but
the important thing is when you do get in this spot with some of your top pairs, you're going to want to check, and these under pairs look like you just got to check, man.
Yeah.
You just
you're gonna realize and get there with those, yeah, but like,
I think
yeah.
given too that you're saying that population is often gonna be calling and not check raising as much as they should, we should probably find a few more checks with like kings that aren't like ace king.
They're going to have they're going to show up a stronger range on this. I think the play is if you do just see bet, you probably shouldn't be barreling as much. Since people aren't going to be studied, which means they're going to slow play. They're going to have king jack here, you know, they have like king jack off in spots, stuff like that in these spots, king 10 that they just don't know that they should probably be check raising. They're going to have a 6 ace high. So it all alludes to they're going to have too strong of a range once we bet and they call and they
Like-
show up. We probably should be barreling less than 50%.
Yeah, once we get to the turn, I mean, big blind
Versus-
saying he has like ace high or like a pair, right? Pretty much is his worst hand.
Yeah, we could see their
Yeah.
continuing range. They were supposed to lead some. We bet small, and it actually wants us to check 41%, but I'm looking at this room right now, and this percentage like 15%. And then we go here in population.
Ain't
It's-
nobody freaking checking
Ain't
that.
nobody, bro. And then like this 35% raise from the population is going to be like 15%, and then this is going to double.
Yeah, if I'm playing in a game where Queen 7 suited on this board is check raising me, I just log out and go home.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, any backdoor queen 7 suited, I'd be check raising.
But what backdoor Queen 7 suited is
Wait,
there
is this on the
this
turn?
board?
This is on the turn. They're
Yeah, I
check-
was wondering what those were hoping for.
they're
Oh, I
check
thought
raising
I thought
Queen
this
7
was
on the
flop.
turn.
Oh, this is
No,
on
I
the
thought-
flop. Yeah, no, you're right.
This is
That's
flop.
big
Oh, this
blind.
is flop. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
all
was
your
looking
check
at that
raises.
if it was on the turn. I'm just like, if they're finding Queen 7 suited there to check raise on the turn,
Oh, no, not the turn.
yeah.
No, that's a flop, yeah.
Yep. So
Maybe we look at the turn report again like we did last time?
yeah, we
That's
did.
right.
We had it up.
Oh, we did. Oh, I sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that.
It's
So where's our barreling, basically? There
Nothing
isn't, there's
really.
nothing.
Nothing
10
but
of
more
clubs,
of your
jack of
low cards.
clubs. 10 and jack of clubs seem to have a weirdly large.
The ace is definitely
Betting.
checking a lot because they float with
yeah.
their ace X. The ace, you might get here and say the ace
Okay.
is good for me. Do not always bluff the ace because a lot of these, especially the solvers and a good GTL player is going to float. Their calling range is going to be the ace X, ace high.
Okay.
In real life.
So we're
Given
just
that,
checking a
I'm
lot.
surprised that we're not barreling
money.
more on these like queen, jack, tens. Since they
Well, they're
never
the
have
ones who
them, right?
barrel the most, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look down the bottom, there's like
Because when
60%
we
for 10 of
bet flop and
clubs.
they call, they have a lot
10
of
of
king in
clubs,
their
jack of
range.
clubs are like 60%, right? You're right back.
Well, some of these also are based on what we have in our hands still too.
Yeah, it's going to play kind of with your range, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no definitive strategy where you get to exploitatively use
No.
something on this board because their range is too condensed for you to kind of go crazy on cards. You're kind of playing literally your range, what your cards are in a lot of these spots and kind of reacting to that.
Yeah, and this report is showing your range overall, so it's independent of what you have in your hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so mixed.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
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 And then of course, yeah, individual hands are gonna change.
Who we got in here? Jackson, what are you doing here?
C bet small.
C-bit small. Anybody doing anything different?
1.2 seems fair.
1.2.
I think it's 1.95, but it's definitely a bet.
Definitely bet. Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna mix between these. I'm kind of curious if it which one it prefers more between these two.
Oh, it's small.
This hand itself might have some
Wow.
checks.
Well,
This shit's hard,
boys,
man.
this
If
is-
I mean,
there's
that's pretty close.
If there's any
it's the
hand that
same
wants to
thing.
check, it's this.
Yeah, are you betting for value? You're betting as a bluff. Kind of in between on this hand. So you can kind of do
Yeah.
both.
I'm with you guys that are having a hard time seeing this and seeing so much check because I mean you get it, right? You just know when you check here, like
It's better for you to check and have them bluff than for you to bet and have them call with something because everything they call with has you beat except for king 10
Yeah.
and 9.
or and you get
Right?
check raised, but you have to call the check raise. I'm sorry, I
So
want to play
it's
this
a
hand.
very hot. Yeah, look, it's like the only hand. Yeah, it was like the only hand in the range.
Dude,
that we
these
checked.
guys are acting like it's so easy. Like there's so many hands you just auto, but no, nonetheless, Jackson, we
This is
did
showdown.
do this is good. And now what?
That's a barrel turn, surely.
No spoilers. One man to hand, no ghosting.
Sorry.
No ghosting.
You're not playing it for a WSOP online bracelet.
4 seems fine.
I don't know
4.5.
how much that controversy is true or not.
You going
I'm arguing with
4.5?
people about it. I'm arguing with people about it like literally right now. But irrelevant. 4.55. I go.
Did we in game we checked?
No, in game.
No, we went 1.2.
20%. For C-bet, and now he's advocating going 4.55 double barrel. Anybody checking, utilizing a different size?
I'm checking.
Me too.
I could see checking. I would probably bet, but I would think that I also have to check it sometime, just not this time.
Yeah, I
It's
think I
great
changed my
time
mind
to
as well. I
check
think
it.
it's definitely check. I
Most
thought about
people
it for half a
check,
You can
second.
improve. It's great.
Yeah, I would always check here.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get 3 streets too often.
No.
And we have a nice bluff catcher. Diamond comes, you can stack more hands. I don't know. It just feels gross.
Now,
Picking
real life
up equity feels like we should be
population
betting though.
is.
Oh, one at a time, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say real life population is definitely over double barreling this
Easy.
and usually going big when this definitely should be checking back.
Yeah, it feels like we should be betting though. When we're picking up equity on the turn though. So why? I mean, what's the reason we're not doing that? What's the reason why
Are
we
you
check?
betting for value?
Because we have a marginal hand.
Yeah, if
You
you're betting for
pl- you
value,
play-
what's worse that's calling?
You play your actual strength and not your potential strength.
Well, he picked up equity. His thought is like, I understand what you're saying, Cody. Like we think here we pick up equity. It's a good card for us. We can build the pot even more to make more when we get there. But we must also take in consideration what we're targeting and what he continues with. And sometimes we get worse hands to fold. He still has a handful of better Jack X in his range. Small frequency of
Sometimes
some Queen
he's-
X. you
Yeah, I
know,
got a Queen
but-
X and we get check raised, and then what? We're fucking not folding, but we're fucking not loving life.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
wanna,
so-
we wanna realize how extra activity we just picked up.
My thinking behind the bet was just to target things like ace, king, king 10, things
He
like
doesn't
that.
have ace king ever,
Nope,
ever,
nope,
ever,
nope.
ever, ever. And then like the king 10 is check raising you on the flop. Most of those combos are probably check raise you at some frequency, and you're getting worse to fold. And you want the 9 of diamonds to come so you could stack it. You want the king of diamonds to come so you can make more from it. So
You just don't want to
you
get
want
blown
to
off
give
this
him
hand, yeah.
worse and reverse implied odds with some of those combos that you're trying to get to fold. When you
I
have
realize too, like you would bet here with things that I would guess if we looked at it, like you'd be more likely to bet with something like
10-9 or
I was thinking 10-9 might have too much equity, like 8-10 of diamonds, 7-10
10-8,
of diamonds,
yeah.
something like that.
Like
It
you have
doesn't
other
have the
flushes,
showdown
you have
value.
other
Here your
draws
pairs
that you can
yeah.
bluff here.
sometimes. You don't need protection
Like-
because you have diamond protection.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
look at it. In the
All
solver
your
You
as
need to
well.
get
king
the
high
showdown
flush
with this hand, yeah.
draws.
So I went ahead and took the check line here. I repeated the hand because it's a 50-50 on the flop, and we should see how it wants to play out or play it out when we do check this board. He checks back turn. Is this a situation where we get 2 streets of value now, or do we just try to get 1 street and bluff catch? These are always interesting. Beats what you think.
I think
since
we
you do a
bet
lot of
small
So we
this.
here.
checked flop this time.
And he checked turn.
And he checked back and he checked turn.
Now I'm gonna lead out small for like the 1.2.
20% pot. What were you saying, Michael? I believe you were starting to say something as well.
Yeah, no, I said same thing, like I'm betting small here. Think
Yeah, I
we
think it-
just, like, whether the C-bet comes on the flop or the turn, like I'm still getting my small C-bet.
I like it. Let's see if the solver agrees. It's very good. You start building, put in a little bit of money now. It's good enough. You know, we could start targeting some hands that might float. Very good.
Yeah, and now we don't need protection as much, right? When he checks twice, he doesn't have queens, so we don't have to worry about getting value towned and getting check raised nearly as much. Right?
Yep. Go ahead, Beats. What do you think? He just calls. Some 10
He
combos.
just
can-
calls and now and then checks again. I mean, I'm probably just checking back.
Interesting.
I
Michael,
think
would you have
we're
done
missing
something
on the
else?
value.
I mean, at this point, it's really, I just have showdown, and so check, just, yeah, I'm
Value
just gonna
against
take my
what?
showdown.
What are we value betting here?
Like it's pocket
9, 10.
sixes.
Sixes have
Yeah.
good
I mean,
enough, but-
cause
You should be
I'm,
jamming the
ace-
sixes, right?
if-
C-flop?
yeah, yeah, like he has none of his pairs, but yeah, I mean, it's like, cause if I'm betting, I have to bet at least half pot, and
Our kicker doesn't play.
Well, I don't think we have to bet that
Uh,
much. He's
well,
calling with.
One at
in
a time,
position,
guys.
you're never
One at a
betting
time.
small on the river. So my small bet on the river is half pot. I don't want to go half pot with this hand. So in that case, I'm checking back.
Well,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
I
that
think we're
sounds
missing
sense.
out value from all his pairs like 4s through 8s.
He doesn't have
and
any of
10s.
those
Yeah,
because
he
he's gonna
raises-
re-raise. So he's
He
gonna
re-raised them all pre-flop.
he's gonna re-raise them all pre-flop.
Pre-flop or on the
So,
flop. Either
Yeah, so
one,
he
but
has
those aren't
he
there
has
anymore.
no pair, like no
Mm.
pairs in his hand.
I think he does because, well, no,
That-
no, I'm sorry,
that-
go ahead. I don't want to interject. or something.
Maybe 2s and maybe 5s split, but other than that, he has no pairs.
But
So-
doesn't he
It's like-
doesn't he have to call us down with some ace highs here?
No, missed it.
No.
All right, well, let's see what the solver thinks. There's no better judge, jury, and executioner than a solver in these kind of spots. Beats, advocate, and check. It seems like a few of you guys feel like we're missing value here. I greed out too much in this spot as well. I can't imagine checking, to be honest with you. I feel like I would go 5 here and just lose if it's
So then
on,
we
you know?
generally have no small bets in position.
And he's 100%. And if you are betting, you go 5. So I'm
We never
here.
have small bets.
I am here.
I'm surprised it actually
Well,
even has
we
any
found it-
bet 3.
We found
Yeah.
a sliver.
No, I mean, yeah, I
I
think
mean,
it's
it's
reasonable.
Very
still, it's got
clever.
the yellow. Don't, we ain't.
It ain't good. We're not saying
Ain't
it's
shooting for
good.
yellow.
And Beats is right. Like our target range is pretty thin. Like, and it's fine. We'll look at it. And you missed the value in real life. Results oriented. We got him for 5. No, I'm kidding.
If we bet 5,
Go
is
to
he
study.
calling that?
Yeah, it's like
I
the same
mean,
question.
He just did.
But yeah, let's take our time.
no, we
Let's go back
checked.
to the flop. I'm gonna
But
go back to
yeah,
the flop.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because the whole session today is not on sophisticated river spots like that. It
Right.
is on our turn barrels in these kind of spots. It's easy to get distracted, but let's be focused on
No.
turn barreling,
6 is
right?
gonna Faraz Jaka you beat.
I have to. No, I'm kidding. I'll go back for you. I got you, fam. We're gonna bet 1.2 a ton on this board, but the Jack 6 specifically, mostly here, it does like betting a little bit more. Oh, we had Jack 7, didn't we?
No, we had Jack.
No,
six.
Jack 6.
Oh,
No, we
Jack
had,
6.
we had Jack 6.
Diamonds.
Oh yeah, so it does like betting, but we got dinged for it. So weird.
No, we bet big, remember? You
Ah.
bet big, didn't
No, maybe
I thought you
didn't.
bet
No, Jackson went
55%.
1.2 on the
we?
plot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 1.2
we
was
had
fine. It
admit
was
it.
single
Yeah.
check, Mark.
Yeah, it was check or 1.2.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's 50-50 between the two options.
Yeah, it was like
Um,
slightly better for like slightly higher percentage for check, but EV was basically the same, and they were really close.
Check
in
raised half the
percentage.
time. Continuing that discussion from earlier conversation up there. Does a solver think we justify a 3-bet? We'll look back at that. Dylan, we'll look back at that range once we get through this. We'll go back to the beginning and look at the 3-bet range. Just remind me and see what the solver likes there. And then you can have the discussion of what population likes. But here we have the big blind's response to our 20% bet, and it is half the time check raising, half the time calling. But
Yeah, but look how many of their combos are queens, so that kind of skews it a little bit.
painful. I mean, yeah, this
And,
is
I mean,
and then they're bluffing the 10s.
yeah,
yep.
yeah, queens, jacks, and 10s are making up almost the majority of almost all of their, you know.
Is that what we had on the turn?
No, I'm just
Okay.
manufacturing a blank. We can look at the reports as well in these kind of spots, but I kind of just wanted to see a true blank. King 9. Yeah, so a lot of these hands still just barreling. Some of our air just following through as well.
And all of our jacks are just checking.
Yeah, all the jacks are just all of them. King Jack even.
Ace Jack, the
gets in
only
there.
one.
And I mean, you can make a case if you look at the EV where you can check it, in some of these cases, and it's still reasonable, from an EV standpoint, to mix and be balanced. Yeah, your King 10 continuing to bet. Let's look at the reports here on the turn. So when we do bet the 1.2 and they call, you really only just go ham on ace, king, ace and king.
I would like to look at like maybe like a 7 high or something like that, because if one thing I noticed was that they were check raising all of their like ace 2, king 2, queen 2, 10 2.
7 high,
on the
a
flop.
7 high board.
Or no, a 7 on the turn.
Oh, 7 on the turn, okay. Sure.
And see if we bet more there.
Here we go.
Not really.
Nah, not really, man. I mean, when it bluffs, it really likes to use these ace X, king X danglers, some of these danglers here.
Mhm.
Ace high and king high danglers. Betting it's queen, like nothing changes, still checking. Damn near you can make a case for checking all your jacks.
It's all
this
big and
is-
over bets if you do. Look at
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you're not really using this.
You're just freaking bombing the fuck out of it.
Yeah, this is a spot where we're
hilarious.
actually just banging the turn when they call. Yikes. Yep. And then Beach, what was you wanted to see the river, correct? Wait, what? Wait a
They were
minute.
calling a 3 when we bet the river.
Okay, was the turn an actual 7 of diamonds?
It was
What
3 of
was it?
diamonds.
It was a
3
of
diamonds.
3 of diamonds, and then in game, we actually checked back the turn.
Yeah.
I can't remember. The turn went check. Well, let's look at our strategy very quickly here.
It was 9 of spades.
The river was 9 of spades. And then we go to BB. Whoa. You go check on turn. And the big blind is not checking much. Holy shit.
But we are supposed to bet all these jacks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big
This
one.
is the BB.
No,
This
it's
is the
the big
big blind.
blind.
This
Oh,
isn't
that's
us.
the big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
But
big
he
blind.
checked in our hand, didn't he?
Yeah.
He checked in game. Oh man.
We're still betting the jacks.
Yeah, for value.
Yeah, you're betting.
Yeah,
Wait, this is not what happened
Wait,
though.
that's
What's going on?
what is
Is that the
I think-
correct run out?
something different.
No, was the
on it.
flop 2 spades? The flop was 2 spades, wasn't it?
If
No,
I,
let's
I didn't
go
change the
back to
flop.
practice.
No,
and you go
'cause
back
we-
to
we-
the-
Go back to
exercise.
the practice.
thi-
Yeah.
I think the hand we were actually having more issues with was when we went check on the flop. And
It
then
was
we,
check on flop. That's what it was. We bet flop in the last iteration. And the one
Yeah.
that was working before. This one went check flop. Turn went check cut off. We
Bet
actually
1
stabbed
1.2.
they call. The big blind, their response, they have some leads 21% of the time with some of their jacks to block. It looks like a primary. They also use the king 9. Their 9s and jacks are blocking. Is the big takeaway going into river. And then for the cutoff, jack 6 not good enough. Jack 7 not good enough.
Oh, there we go. Oh, right, that's better.
Yeah, the
If
question
we do
was
bet.
You need to
here,
have a
if we
kick.
bet 5 now,
Does it
can
feel
he
good?
call with king 3? That's what the question was.
Okay, so let's bet 5.
Shouldn't. Hell no.
Because then it
don't.
was, the comment
He-
was that lost value and it's,
He-
yeah, he's not calling with king 3,
He's-
so there's no
He's
value.
calling with
lost.
ace highs.
he's calling with ace
Yeah.
highs.
He's calling with
I-
ace 9, ace 10.
Ace 3.
I said that, well, ace three's a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
3.
But what I
has,
was
second
saying,
3.
what I was like, my argument was for the bet when we're losing values, we're losing value against 4s, 5s, 6, 7s, 8s, and 10s, and the solver's not playing those as a call, but I think the population is a lot.
Fair.
Yeah, and I was gonna say in response to that, if you know that they're holding 4s through 8s, I probably do bet 5 more often,
Fair.
just because while 5s suck. I mean, most people are gonna call. A lot of people are gonna call those on the river,
I agree.
Yeah.
Alright, next spot.
but that's gonna be very, you have to almost in a sense know that they're holding those in order to make that bet.
Who else we got in here? Let's go with Steve. Oh, wait a minute. On the last spot, somebody asked to see. We can look at that 3 betting range again. I got you, fam.
No, I wasn't the 3-betting range. I was just asking about exactly what we were just discussing, those middling pairs. If
Oh,
they,
okay.
if the population's not 3-betting those pairs, surely we can justify a bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they have the, yeah, correct.
Yeah, because if they're
Uh,
holding 8s, 7s, and 6s, we can bet on the river more often.
Right.
That was kind of the.
Hey, Steve in chat, would you like to do this hand? I'm just looking at names. Steve or CJ, whoever comes off mute, steps up first. You're more than welcome. Or Matty Ice, Matt Carville, step it up. Some I do. I know you're not. Don't try to act like you're hiding now.
He was
My
talking
name
to
is
you,
on me?
Matt.
I'm talking to you, Matt. IA Hawks, Matt.
Did I lose you?
Oh, we hear you, Matt.
No, we can hear you now. What are you doing here?
Oh, okay. 20 bigs cut off versus big blind.
Beep, beep,
Ugh.
beep, beep.
Probably see bet small, like a quarter or check.
Gosh, you almost griefed your time bank for a snap C bet. My
I was
God.
like, what's taking so long, Matt?
Vogel saying over here.
Sorry, I'm not as quick as you guys. Jeez, fuck.
Let's do, oh, I was gonna say,
I'm
if you
needling you,
repeat,
man. Here you go. This is you now, man. You
Surely
didn't
this is a
get that. Doesn't
check.
count.
You bet small again?
33 or 20.
Probably 20.
So good. He wants to go tiny. Anybody gonna use the 33 size here?
Yeah, I want to use
think
30.
I'll-
I
yeah,
want to use
same.
30. I want to use it because I want to build up the pot here, man. Even if he has strong hands, we got fucking nuts here.
I feel like he connects well enough with those to some point that he's gonna want to continue the 7 and the 4.
Why blow him off the pot then?
right?
I don't think 33 is
mean-
really blowing him off. I think it adds. I think it's just going to give us more value, you know, for a hand that we have so much equity.
I mean, he's got enough air that he's just gonna fold anyway. So like keep him
Maybe.
in the pot. You want to build it up, but you want to keep him in too. Don't blow
So,
him out of the water
Both of
just
you,
yet.
one thing real quick. You're both right. And the solver kind of prefers what Matt's talking about. Like you guys want to build the pot. You have opponents in your games that are not really folding no matter what. Just always a consideration here. The smaller our bet size, the more they have to call to meet MDF, the wider their range is. And we don't give a shit if they call because we can find bigger bets on future streets. So a little bit to my point, that's why they kind of prefer this. You are not making a mistake to go 33 here either. It's fine, but going small, good.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah,
We go
like you can
30
just
bigs, we can get in, right?
yeah, we can make bigger sizes on future streets, and it's not, and it's okay to like have him BPIP a few more hands in there, right? Because we ain't scared of shit. This is the nuts. Like if he goes smaller and he continues with a handful of more fours, he might have folded to 33%. Phenomenal, good for us, right? So good stuff, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say it's like to Matt's point on there. If you go 33 on that flop, you're probably folding out about 7% extra of range.
Yeah.
So why not keep that 7% in?
That's the
His fold
exact
percentage is probably
I
going to
see what
jump
you're
from
saying.
about 25 to 32-ish, somewhere in there. So you keep more in that he would fold out, even though it doesn't seem like it's that much. You just keep that little bit extra in there when you're like
This is so top. Yeah, another damn. I really wanted to play this board. This is such a good board for them to continue it. Then
We can
seeing how
repeat
we
the hand, right? Does it
Yeah,
randomize
and
Yeah,
his
do
hand?
repeat hand and it'll change his hand.
All right. So we all know that this is just going to be the best. We can go this, and we get
He goes raise.
raise. Yes. All right, Matt. It's still on you. You have to see a turn, sir.
Of course.
I'm just calling. I'm not gonna. It might raise like the 8.5 a sliver, but like I'm just calling and letting him continue. Like I'm not scared of anything, right? This is what I wanted him to do.
Yep.
So
Anybody, that's really cool, man. I never, to be honest, I really never used the 8.5, but it'd be pretty cool.
I'd
I
click
never
it back
clicked.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
wouldn't.
cool. Anybody
I wouldn't
else on
hate
team
it if
click?
it did that. I'd see that in here or something.
Anybody
I
else
mean,
clicking this in game?
if I knew that the guy was super, super sticky, I probably am, but majority of the time I'm getting up, running around, high-fiving the rest of my ghosting crew, and then clicking call.
Yeah, surely
about to say, I am
the
never
8.5, that's gotta be
okay.
like 4s and 7s, right? And that's it.
The
The
click back?
8.5?
We'll have to
Yeah.
see it with that click. I'm gonna go back and look at that, but we just called.
It's probably
Could he
like your
ever-
offsuit ace king and king queens that are going to
Well, could he ever?
8.5.
Is he ever doing that with 5-6 as well? I mean,
Yeah.
Of course, the big blind is.
so then the.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I love this turn card. Then it's like a fucking beautiful turn.
All right, Matt, what are you doing? Check raise checked to you. What do you want to do, my sir?
Did we ever check it back?
Never. That card's actually good for him, not us.
So, yeah, what are you doing? Beep, beep. I mean, you play on
Time
global.
card.
You're
time
timed
card,
out.
Time card.
Yeah, like you literally play on global. You don't have. You said I'm
I
not
don't
that
play
quick,
on
but-
global.
Well, wherever you play, bro, you brief time banks,
First
I
thing,
should
plan
be
global.
playing
What are
on
you- what are you
global,
doing
but-
with your life?
bruh.
I don't know, 7.6, I guess.
Good. Yeah, I think personally, I think yeah, it's still gonna want to bet and create an SPR where we can jam river. 7.6 feels like a really good size to me. 55% pop when he checks back. Still get value from enough of his combo draws, pair, straight draws, pair, flush draws, 7-6, 5-6, 4-5, 4-6. Have to call again. And yeah, it's really good for us. So I
think
would do
Solver
this.
might prefer 33%. I'm just throwing it out there before we click the button.
No, you're
Oh.
Because
giving him
that
too
card's
good
good for
odds.
his range.
No, but yeah, but
Geometric.
you think about the geometric sizing. 4.5 is so awkward when we get to the
Yeah.
river. We get there with
It is.
24 in our stack and 21 in a pot or something, or
That's
I don't
alright, we
know.
can jam, we can jam.
or maybe you're right.
120%.
Maybe you are right, and we
Because
keep
he's got
looking-
nuts, he's got straights and he's got 2 pairs and shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
mean,
It is
you're
an
right
interesting.
too.
He's
Like-
interesting. I like what you said though. He's right. It's a good point.
Both of us.
We don't
Yeah,
wanna
I mean, both-
size up, we don't wanna size up when it's clearly 7.6 is fine, right? But we don't wanna size up too much when it's just brought some of his hands in. Like,
Yeah.
But you're never folding. You got top pair and the nut flush
oh,
draw.
absolutely not, absolutely not.
So I mean, if he does anything, you're just going with it, and you die when you die.
Wait, so are you so if
Just
he jams
take your
after you bet 33% and he rejams, what are you doing? Calling
snap,
off?
snap calling.
Okay,
do you
just
mean?
making
If
sure.
you-
You
yeah,
can't
I
fold.
can't-
You can't fold. No.
I'm
You
sure.
can't
I'm sure.
fold, so
I agree, but I mean, he's got all the sets and stuff. I mean, I don't
Sure.
disagree with you guys. I'm just
You
wondering.
still got
that's
out.
it. Yeah, of course, of course.
But yeah, so overthinking both sides again. I really like what you some points you made there, Dylan. I know a lot of times we see the solver use a smaller sizing, especially on straight and flush completing turns where it doesn't ever really upsize. A little bit indifferent here. I thought with so much equity, this size is still pretty viable with this
Yeah.
specific combo. Like if I have king, queen, king, jack of spades, I might also do that, but it's pretty comforting to know we could still use a smaller size here and its equity is going to be good. So I
Actually
like to see
higher
that.
equity.
Yeah, it's higher equity. It's about by a point, you know. I
Be
mean,
interesting.
I'm surprised that it is ever using the 11.4.
Yeah,
I
same.
agree.
That's
I
crazy.
wanted to ask about that. I'm very interested in why you're doing that. Are you trying to just shove
push
on the river?
equity. Yeah, I
You're
mean, you're
just-
pushing equity. Like it's good
True.
enough,
Yeah.
right? You're like, you're not
Yeah.
really afraid. Like he's saying some of those straights and hands got there. And the cool thing, big blind's going to have a mixed strategy where they check back some very strong hands here on the turn. It's not like he's just capped himself, but overall his range is going to be enough of a 6, a pair straight draw, backdoor flush draws and stuff. It doesn't mind pushing equity with a hand as strong as the way I visualize this.
I
Yeah,
guess for
I just-
our live conversation, 11.5 is just for that sticky opponent that'll give you their whole stack with king 10 there.
Yes. Yeah, like you just go gigantic. Well, if they check raise you live, you are shook. Even on this turn. like-
Wait, can you pull that one up on the turn?
yeah, we will. Once you
will.
finish this hand, after the 8
Yeah.
minutes it's gonna take you to make a river decision. Come on, Matt. Let's go.
Geometric timing on Matt's responses.
Yeah. Geometric timing. I like it.
So do we ever just get value from his? Does he ever have king, queen, and king? All those hands here. Do we ever just get
Yeah.
value from it?
Well, I don't know. We have to let Matt play. It's one player
Yeah.
per
Oh, okay.
hand.
Oh, okay.
No
You're
colluding.
ghosting him right now. You're colluding.
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt. What are we doing?
Honestly, my thought here is to block her. I'd go 3 here.
You're in position. You know this, right? You're not in the big blind.
No small bets in position, man. No small bets in position.
He's going 3. He said it. He would have clicked the button in game. I believe you would have did this in game. Does the solver like it? Hell no.
Hell yeah. I
Reef
know.
it.
Yeah, there's never any small bets in position.
Massive blunder. You're never ever
If
reopening
you
your
were
reaction for
some weird
3.
way in the big blind
Ever.
facing a board like this and we're gonna block her, that's definitely a thing quite a bit.
yeah.
But never in position, Matt.
So can I want to ask a question, guys. On that re-raise on the flop, do you think he ever just has weaker king X holdings and that's why he's re-raising there on the flop?
Sure.
We will look
Sure.
at
It's
his.
part of his
Yeah,
range.
you'll look at his range. Yeah,
think
you're
for
asking
sure.
as well. It's a race construction question on a board like this, but we get to this river. Let's discuss the river real quick while we're here. Too good. Finish the job. Finish everything
Yep.
missed.
Finish it. Yeah.
Finish it.
Yeah, just jam.
Just
Finish
just
that
jam.
mix.
Don't be
Fucking value, man.
scared.
Let's
Don't be
go.
wanting to go 3 to get called by a 7 or something like that, or to induce. Just finish the job, man. The
You know what
SPR
really
is re-
sucks is
No.
when you go 3 here and then a king calls. You're like, oh, like you
King
lost a
eight.
lot of
Yeah.
value.
Look at that.
That's
You
fine. I'm
would have
okay with that.
lost
Oh, yeah,
like
there you go.
so much money by
Yeah.
going 3. So much money.
This board isn't scary, man. Like only thing I got there, like 5, 6 didn't get there, right? 8, 9. You're like, there's nothing really here.
He's got all the
So-
two
But
pairs.
my
Yeah, the flush
opponent-
miss.
Oh, he doesn't have.
Yeah,
all
but
the-
also
You
another
either
tip
target a
too
king
is-
Wait a minute.
here.
One at a
or
time,
you-
guys.
Here's
One at
another
a
tip
time.
too,
Yeah.
Matt. When you have 30 bigs to start this hand, like we did here, it doesn't really matter. Like if you have top pair, you can just happily go broke, especially top pair, top kicker.
Yeah.
Another,
I wouldn't even.
can I
skip
bring
it.
up something? Obviously you're gonna be going all in with a lot of your missed flush draws too, so he's gonna call with all of his weaker king X holdings. You know what I mean? I feel like we get a lot of value off of his king X, like you did there.
So
But your
This is,
value
uh,
target is
strategy.
smaller when you jam. Is all
Sorry, I
would-
didn't hear you. I didn't hear you,
Sure.
sorry.
Your value target is smaller. You're narrowing his calling range to a king only in that scenario,
well,
Fair,
Matt,
okay.
or else it's better calling you. So when
I think
you
he could call- I think he
jam
could
that
call
to
with
get
mid-pair
max
there.
value,
Hey,
he's
Josh.
only calling you with better, or he's calling you with a worse king, and that's it.
I want to
If
say
you
that-
wanna target lower pairs, the 7x, the 9x, or anything else, then you need
Then
to
you're
go
better off
smaller.
going 10. You never go 3.
one thing I want to do in this group to keep it
Okay.
smooth and make it great is when one person is making a point or talking. I know we're all very passionate about the game, but it's important to let that person finish their point, rather they're right or the wrong. So we can all help them or understand their thought process as a collective and get it better. And then, or we can hear your point and we can all get better together that way, rather than trying to express our points while one another is talking. I think it'll help us.
Got it,
So we
Chris.
go here. Yeah, just I think it'll flow better if we all just have a little bit of respect. It's not about, we're not trying to be disrespectful. It just gets
Y'all
that
get
way when we excited. Yeah, it's just excitement, man. We all fucking love this hard ass game, man. I feel it.
Call
But
it
this
an
is-
exploit then, I don't know. That's just what I've been seeing some other people talk about, so.
Yeah, but are they
Uh,
talking about that in position, Matt? Because like this
Yeah.
is definitely. Oh, well, then I think you're talking to the wrong people, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's a pure mistake. No matter how you slice and
Yeah.
dice it,
Like if
because
you don't want to
they're-
jam here
Okay.
and you want to bet a size to get called wider, I can see that argument,
Yeah.
but that would never be 3. Like your hand is just worth a lot more than 3, you know? So it
Okay.
would at least be like 60% or something if you're not going to jam. But then
Right.
60% in this case is like 2/3 of your stack or some shit.
Yeah, it's just never gonna.
Yeah, the
In this
SPR is
spot
just
as
too
well,
small.
it's just too good. And one thing we have here, let's just kind of break down the hand so we can look at our turn barrel strategy. We're going to look at it from the check raise when we continue here, like as it played out. But here, our C betting strategy here on the flop, we're checking about 30% of the time. It's checking under pair to the board. Queens, jacks, 10 at a pretty reasonable clip. Some of that stuff. Interestingly
Sevens.
enough, sevens are in there. Sevens are a set, so they definitely.
No, I mean 10-7, 9-7, 8-7.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you want to some of your middling pair that you're
Okay.
gonna have on a button also wants to, and then it wants to mix some of these bigger bets in there. Unblocking all the king X in the big blinds range. Obviously have a lot. You can just go really big with your aces, your king, queen, your king, jack. It doesn't mind some of these queen nines where you're going to turn a lot of equity with backdoor flush draws. But overall, it wants to use some of these smaller sizings. The ace king suited, so damn good. You just want to go small and induce like we did. So where are we? We go check 1.2.
Go to the big blind on the turn. Is he
You want to go to the
leading this
big blind on the
card?
turn? Yeah, here it is. This is after they
Yeah,
check
he's
raise.
supposed to frickin' bomb this card. That's his card.
Yeah, this is where they check raise. This is their
Yeah, after he
response.
check raises, he should bomb that frickin' 5. So when he checks that turn, that's why we go big.
We call
If
with
he
this
has
range.
nothing. And we gotta protect against the double flushes. Like I know we block the front door flush, but the back door flush
More
and that
straight
card
draws
is
than
just him, so that's why we go bigger on that turn.
I
Well,
agree.
this
Even
turn-
the 11, that's why the 11 was freaking in there too. You could just bomb the frick out of this card because you need some sort of protection against that 5. That hits him so freaking hard. He should have freaking, yeah, he should have bombed that freaking turn.
Yeah, you should have.
And
Big-
you,
a
you
big-
hate your life with ace king, even though you got the freaking flush and you're gonna die with it. Like, you hate this freaking card.
Matt, you were about to go 3. Don't lecture us. What are you talking about?
I went
Yeah,
3 on the
exactly.
river,
Why-
I bombed the fucking turn.
I know, I'm kidding with
Yeah.
you. B Money,
I
did
think-
you have a point you wanted to make, buddy?
Yeah, he kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I thought that him checking the turn was like super alarming. I thought that would be like I mean, it is a super high frequency miss, so he's kind of capped at a king. Like, I don't know what he caps at like a weak king.
If
You
you-
know, I would check back. I definitely would check back the river there, but that's, you know, I can see why, because that's
Just
so
freaking
alarming
jam the
to check the
turn. You're
turn.
supposed to jam half of this shit, like.
Did you say you
gross.
check back the river with the ace king here, Matt? Or not Matt, Mike?
Yeah, I know.
God
Don't get
damn it.
mad.
What?
Well,
Here's
can I
our-
ask you a question, Jared?
Yeah.
I love the all in at the end. I really think it was perfect. But do you ever check it back? At frequency?
Fuck, no, I'm too
Ever?
rich to
Never?
care. I
I'm
fucking
never
bust that
checking.
shit 10 times in a row, jamming
Sorry,
on the
just
11th
wondered.
time. Fuck it.
Just wanted
Yeah,
to
look at
check.
this. It's
6, 8 is the nuts,
jamming
right?
king 9, it's 2 pair. It's not even scared with king 10, king jack, king queen, king 10 off. Like, guys, it's
When he checks the turn, yeah, you're just
Right.
golden.
no, we bet. Yeah, we check the turn, we bet, he calls the big turn bet, and we get here on the river, a blank. It's just not shook. It's
Right,
not
he only has 4 combos of 6, 8, right? Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Whoa, we need
Bro,
to
who do I have to mute?
CJ.
So can
CJ.
I ask? So can I chime in one more time too? I have one more.
Yes,
question.
sir. Yeah, no
No.
problem.
So at the end, I wanted to bring up this one point. I think you can shove a lot of your missed flush draws there, right? As your
We're sho-
bluffs. Now, does that ever give him a chance to call with the mid? Not even king X's, just his mid pairs like 7-5 or 7-6, maybe. I don't know. Stupid things that he might have raised there for no reason. Does he ever call with mid pair? Thinking you're
I
bluffing.
also have a question. If we get check raised and
No.
then it goes check, check, and we get to the
Okay.
river, do we still jam our missed flush draws?
7,
Because we're
8.
blocking a lot of what we want them to have.
Wait, can you say that one more time, Jared?
When we jam our missed flush draw, like when they check raise check, a lot of what they have is weak king and flush draw.
Oh,
Right? And
sure.
It's a 5-6. So when we have flush draw in our hand, is it still good to jam river because we're blocking we're
Yes.
blocking what we want them to have?
Yep.
So just a question.
Because our range, yes, I mean, yeah,
Show
the
the
answer is yes. It turns its hand into a bluff.
I think part of this is understanding that the math of the shove.
No
If
made
you-
hand.
If you bet 3, yes, you're gonna get called by more hands. But to make it more profitable than the shove of 21, you have to get called 7 times as often as you would get called by the shove.
Sure.
And sorry, could I just
Okay.
go back into that, respond to that last point too? The when he check raises flop, we're actually doing the opposite of what you suggested. Because we have the spades ourselves, he's not got the spades as a check raise a lot. A lot of his check raises are gonna be those kings.
Pair heavy. That's what I was.
And we've got
getting
the
into.
best king. So
Sure.
we're gonna be getting value from his king on the flop.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about with ace king suited specifically. I was talking about with like, I don't know what where the
Jack
button,
10
right? So like
suited or
8-6
something.
8-6 made it. So
Oh,
like, I
if
don't
we
know.
had something else.
Yeah, some random ass spades that missed. Not
Like
ace king.
Jack
I'm
10.
jamming ace king
Jack 10 suited.
Sorry.
every time. Every time.
Here you go, Cameron. You were
king
wondering
queen
what our
also.
range is after the turn lead.
Yeah, I
Whereas
guess
the-
after
if
big
he were
blind
to bet.
leads. Yeah.
Oh, if he were to bet, so we go here. We have 7.6. They're supposed to use this size, and
Probably
you
jam
are
here.
not.
You just jam it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just it's just.
No,
run
you
it.
actually just call. Just call the flush.
Oh, with ace king
Flush.
suited, I was looking at the other ones. Yeah, ace queen off. Don't mess around unless you have the ace of spades.
Or king
Yeah.
spades, right? Yeah.
No, the
If
king
you
of
got a
spades is ripping
spade
it.
blocker,
The king of spades is just
you
ripping. it.
just call.
You
The
need
ace
the
of
ace of
spade
spades.
blocker, you just call the king, he can go crazy with you. 2 pairs is jamming.
Yep.
8, 7, 7, 6 with
So
the
yeah,
draws
it's
is
pretty
jamming.
straight up. I mean, you're not getting too
Sets.
crazy with like king queen. king 10, king 9, like king queen shrugs it in. 2 pair, the rest of these kings just calling.
Yeah,
Because
we're
when he
getting
check raises
the
and
Yeah,
bets,
six.
and-
now like Matt said, he's got all these 2-pair combos. Like he doesn't check the 2-pair combos. When he played it the first time, so we could.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be, no.
And one thing I was gonna say, back to Toe asking about like the missed flush draws. When he's check raising us on the flop, he's doing that mainly with his kings, pairs of 7s. There's only a couple combinations that where it's wrapping around the 7 and the 4 that aren't either like a small pair or a king. So then we're gonna probably, those missed flush draws, we're probably actually gonna not jam as many.
It looked like in a river returning all of our no made hands, missed draws into bluffs.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like because their only calling range was like the king highs. They were overfolding.
Yeah,
on
and the
that
other
river.
argument is like we get the under pairs to kings to fold.
Like the under pairs to fold, yeah.
They get to meet MDF their beats by with enough king X in their range.
Yeah.
In made hands, So.
That's why the 5's so good for him. You're supposed to bomb it.
Who do I put in the hell here? B Money, my friend. How you doing, man?
Good.
Wait.
Just calling here.
Just calling. Yep. We are in that situation where we were looking at our aggregate reports earlier, and we seen 7-6-4 was going to be a really bad board for our range. And here we are. We didn't have the big blind having turn leads in their range, but here we are. Like I said earlier, they're going to be doing it a lot, especially the solver. So we're going to just call this. You can't ever fold, or raising is a mistake. Now what? Go ahead, B Money.
I mean, we have showdown. The flush completer comes in. We have marginal made hand. I think we just have to check back here.
No, thank you for being here, Kanish. This is good. Anybody like betting this turn or
Yeah, I'm blasting it. Like
betting
83.
another? What side you going, Michael? You said 83?
83, but actually maybe after having looked at the spreadsheet today, I think I need to try to find a little bit more in terms of over bets. So I could maybe see the 11, but
We
Probably.
don't normally overbet on the flush completer.
Yeah, I mean it's very rare that we're gonna use like some of these gigantic size when flush and straight completing cards get there. We would condense the villains range to a point when they do continue, you're stone dead.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think we're gonna go 11 ever, but I would
I think
be
checking is probably good. The villain has a lot of 7s here, right? A lot of 7s.
Yeah. I was gonna say if we can lead, it's probably gonna be small.
yeah. I wouldn't hate small sometimes just to
If we
probably get ourselves to showdown a little bit easier
Yeah.
and not have to. You deny some equity, you still get called by a handful of worse hands. There's some 6x, 4x. Like the villains lead range here is so wide. Of course, he has some set, but he does it with like some 8x, some hands with just the 8x in his hand. Just a 5x, a 4x, 6. He does it so wide. So
I think the nature of the turn
Whoa!
is that he doesn't have a lot of aces in his hand.
In the words of Kep, I'm out.
That's an interesting line. Lead
the solver is
1.9,
really good at poker.
check call.
What's
bet
his bluff
21 to
theory?
9.
The solver is really good at poker.
you know what's funny? The solver's
Perfect.
probably gonna call this.
Oh, the solver's a dog. I mean,
So
he
the
beats-
solver, I would say it's probably 90+% it's gonna call this.
I
Really?
B
mean,
money,
I believe-
yeah, B money. I feel like this is. I wonder if this. I feel like the
Yeah.
solver is just so sticky.
Yeah. I'm waiting for B Money's answer.
Yeah,
I said
okay.
fold, I'm out. I'm
B
not
money
folding.
said B fold, but Peter, you were making
Oh.
a point before we were all shocked by
I
the
think-
solver's response. So if you wanted to finish your point, by all means.
Even though the flop 7-6-4 is a flop that he's going to have a lot of leads on, he's not going to lead with an ace in his hand very often because it's going to have showdown value.
Right.
And an ace on the turn is a hand that we're going to float a lot, so we connect with a lot of aces there. So I think our range is still going to have enough aces here that we don't have to call with this 6, even though we have a spade.
But do you
Uh,
think
No,
when
I
we
like
look
that
at the
point, though.
solvers, let me ask you a question though, in response to that, when we show up here with enough of our asets, do you think the solver more likely takes the bet small line rather than even to mix check with some of it, or do you think it overwhelmingly, or do you think it mixes check even on this turn when we call with this ace-x? Because I feel like it would stab small in some instances, more so with the ace-x, but I'm
Yeah.
unsure.
yeah,
So
think more
when we
often than
get
not.
when we get to the turn, our range construction is going to have our best aces betting
Then like,
with kings and queens and jacks. Our ace 10 and ace 9
easy.
probably going to check. And then our aces with straight interaction are also going to want to bet here. So
Interesting.
when we check, we're going to have some middling aces here. I don't think we're going to have a lot.
no,
So I
it's
think
it's a call because you're holding a spade blocker.
Yes.
Wow.
You have showdown.
Beats, I was with you. Like, I'm with you. Like, the solver is just not having it versus like this is what the interesting is. It's so polar. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a polarized bet size where he either has it or he doesn't. We have something good enough to call with and blocking, like with the spade as well. Like, you can't fold.
Let me ask you a
Real
question.
life, I'm probably closer to 50-50, but against the solver, I know it's a call.
If I know if
But
it's any reg, we just call and then
If
hover the
it's-
X button and get out.
If they're dog shit, I'm just gonna fold.
Yep, this is
Because I
gonna be
know that
over.
they're
Big blind just doing this with a 5x miss straight.
Yeah, did it
Like,
show what
that's his
hand
only
he has?
bluff, right?
What hand did he have?
I feel like I always fold there. Is that a mistake? Like,
Yes.
I
Yes.
always fold there.
Oh, yeah, I would also.
No, yeah.
Question. Let's go
Yeah.
back to the flop. I mean, so at 30 big blinds is big blind supposed to check raise some of his flushes. I know he has a lot of flush.
Oh yeah, we got the right
Dude,
stack.
he led. We're not
Oh,
even
okay,
in
sorry.
the check raising. He led
Just
out when we
led.
called.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
wasn't
Which he
here
should-
earlier. Sorry.
So he should do
He
on
should
this
be
board
leading on
about
a
30.
decent
Yeah.
chunk of that board.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
not gonna extrapolate if we play it the other way because he took this line and that
Yeah.
would open up a whole new 1,000 questions.
Yeah, I
Then
wasn't
check him
here
a
earlier,
turn.
so
Are we supposed to check the turn then? Cause that's what allows
Yes.
him to just frickin'
Yes.
bomb the ace, right? When we check
Um,
turn, he can just frickin' yam it and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I think we would have bet most of our aces.
An interesting thing here, and I know this is not going to happen with a lot of people. If you have kings, queens, or aces in your hand and somebody leads into you, I know you're going to lose control of your body. I know you're going to want to raise, but you don't have to, guys. Control yourselves, just call.
Wait,
We're
wait,
okay.
10s, 9s, and 8s is raising there?
Needs protection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
aces,
Aces,
kings, and
kings.
Gotcha. Yeah.
aces,
yeah.
aces, kings, and queens don't need as much protection, and they protect our calling range.
Right. So
Ace
what's our turn action then? What are we barreling with on the ace of spades turn?
Yep, we'll see this. So we get there, we call the BB. They
Checks the
are
entire
still
range.
finding, not entire, 25%, some leading, but they checked in this case. And then the button strategy. See, this is where
you're supposed to bet
I
your
didn't agree, not agree, but I visualize it being something more like this, Peter. Like, I feel like we would want to bet almost every ace-x on the turn for something to charge him, and we can get enough value from his range. But you're also right, it mixes with the suited varieties up here a bit more, and then bets a little bit more protection with these offsuit, and then mixes when we have like the ace of hearts. So this is an interesting strategy.
No, it's the 9 of
Yeah.
spades. that's
The
doing
9,
it.
yeah.
Those offsuit spades that are doing it.
It's a little bit of
Offsuit
reverse
spades,
hierarchy
yeah,
on the suited
the
side.
spade, you want a spade to bet.
Yeah.
And then ace 8's good enough because it has a gut shot as well.
Because they're blocking
Ace
their
6 is two
flushes.
pair.
Yeah, right.
And then these ones here, your better ones don't need to bet as much. So very interesting. I would mistakenly just in game just fucking not have the control of my body to bet check these. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
What's the
Yeah.
EV difference?
I'm
It must
gonna
be
find
nothing,
the
right?
checks with the tens, the nines, and the eights, but I am not checking ace queen suited here. I'm gonna be unbalanced in that.
Well, I think the
That's what I
downside of
said.
checking ace queen suited is if you sorry, of betting ace queen suited is if you do bet every ace you hold, then on the river the solver throws 21 big blinds in your face and you have to fold everything.
Mhm.
Well, no,
But-
this was, I don't think he's gonna throw 20 big blinds on our face when we bet on the turn. He's either gonna do it on the, he's either gonna check raise us on the turn.
Oh no, that's what I mean though. Like
On
when
the
we
river.
do check, if we're betting every single ace we
Right.
have, we're really
Oh,
unbalanced.
yeah, I know what you're
That's what
saying.
I'm
It's,
saying.
I mean, it's gonna like the ace, king, ace, queen, ace,
Yeah.
jack suited. It's gonna want you to check back on the turn
Really good point.
because
Oh,
obviously you don't have a spade in that spot. And if you bet and then he jams it on you, you're in hell.
But it's interesting if you're
it's-
playing against a
I
player
mean-
who's actually quite maniacal and likes to stab when it's checked to them, because if you have something like ace, king, ace, queen, and you can check that turn, and then they're gonna blast pretty much any river because they think you just don't have an ace ever, like that's
Right.
gonna be a
And
nice exploit.
that's why it's gonna like the MDF on the river is gonna be really wide.
Yeah,
And
this
you
is
have
sweet.
to call like this king six. Because he does jam so much. Like someone mentioned his all his fives. So, but
good
yeah,
enough
then you're
for
almost
him.
calling pretty much almost every pair you have. You have to call here.
That's
'Cause
where
his
you got to
jam's
determine
so
if he's
wide.
got, if this player, again, player pool versus sim,
Pocket threes.
if he's got enough bluffs in here to balance out his value, then
Pocket threes
you gotta
Pocket threes is a
determine
better
what your
call than
range of
king
calling
six.
is.
Yeah,
King,
and that's why,
queen.
yeah, Matt, that's why I kind of said like for myself, even though I know the solver is probably 95% call, I'm gonna split it closer to 50-50 in real life because
Yeah, the threes
Um,
are a better call than kings.
yeah,
Yeah, because you don't
Threes are
block
better.
anything with threes. Well,
Yeah.
you block the straight with threes, maybe a little bit, but
Poker
And-
heart.
Pocket
Kings don't
kings
block
also
anything.
block his bluffs too.
yes. Yeah, threes you're unblocking everything that he has.
And you're
Ooh,
dead.
5-4, you're dead.
Alright, crazy.
just
Can I
has it.
take the last one before I go to bed?
Yes, sir.
It is 4 AM. This is it. This is the last stretch.
You do it, man. I like how you step up. do
Final
your thing.
hand.
Alright, Queen Jack 7. I'm pretty sure this is a bet, but it's gonna be a small bet. I think we can check here, but not with this holding. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well played.
It's still a lot of check. No, it's a lot of checks. It's a lot of checks. So
I'm
the
gonna be
bet's
honest.
okay.
Today's session is more, I've learned more about checking the flop than I have betting. Like
Yes.
there's so much checking, man.
It's this middle board that we're talking about, but I still wanted to bet it. So
mean,
Dude.
I feel like the
Spades.
checking induces more like bluff betting from the big blind.
yeah,
It-
and we're not scared of anything, right? We don't need protection from anything.
Yeah,
Right.
I would guess that
Yeah.
this would have like our whole range bets a lot, but this is just one of the few hands that we check.
I would
just
bet
so-
here with my almost my entire, maybe not nines, tens. I would be betting here so much.
Well,
But
do you
one
think-
consideration, we're 18 big blinds. It's already 5
Yeah.
pot.
Exactly.
Like it's already a shallow SPR. We can get the money in pretty easily. We don't mind bluff catching. So this is really good.
Yeah,
I
I was
think-
gonna
yeah.
say with a shallow SPR like this, when you have second pair with an overcard and the
Nut flush.
the nut flush draw, even just any of the flush draw, it's gonna love to check back just to kind
so
of get
good.
them because and again you don't need as much protection and it's the money's gonna go in. I mean,
Mhm.
And also,
What is SPR?
does checking
stack to pot ratio.
Okay.
So
Six
like
powers.
right now, there's
2 to
9
1.
big blinds in the middle,
1.5
and
to
you
1.
have 18 in your stack. So your stack to pot ratio is 2 to 1
1.8.
Okay.
or 1. Yeah, close.
1.8.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that
Close
2 to
enough.
1, I mean, that's very low. If you got anything like 6 or higher, then you got a high SPR. Anything between like 3 and 6 is kind of a middle SPR.
Right, like
Alright.
anything like low SPR, that means like any pairs you can happily get your money in, like,
Right.
you have a lot of, it's like the pot ratio, meaning you have a lot of, money behind, or, big blinds, meaning you don't want, to go all in with one pair, call all in one pair. So anyways, my question
Right.
is, when you check here on the flop as button, does that allow, big blind to bluff a lot on turn and river, allowing you to bet call, bet call?
It's too general of a question.
Yeah.
It will. I mean,
general.
Hypothetically, yes,
Maybe
it
a
would,
player
it'll
dependent.
allow them to pick up worse value hands, turn hands into bluffs, considering that they think we're going to be capped in some of these instances. Yes. I mean, in the vacuum, yes, right.
Depends, but right. Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, Dylan. I know you're Dylan's trying to get to bed. I don't want to take too much,
Yeah.
like do a 40-minute hand, so he's going to bed. Like, so what are you doing here,
I'm
Dylan?
checking this one back.
All right, checking back.
Because the 7's good for him. Wow, the solo likes betting here.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what is that cut? Why?
Don't cap yourself
Well,
on the turn either.
But you basically put half pot. It's going to put the SPR at 1, and because you're just, I mean, what river card are you not jamming with?
Well, no, it's more like I want him to bluff the river now because I'm checking the turn back. Like it was kind of the conversation we we're just having,
No.
but with
That's just about the only card I don't like on the river.
yeah.
That's the
Now
worst.
I'm gonna. So is this assuming I did check the turn? Is this what's
You
going on
did.
here?
You did check the turn. I checked the turn
Okay.
for you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I just check. I don't know. I
It's
just
hard to imagine what you get worse. I mean, the worse Jack X.
no, I don't think so. I just check.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take
Yeah.
it.
I want to repeat this hand.
Take your
Yeah.
showdown.
Same. Honestly.
Yeah, we're just
That
gonna
was
snap
bad, bro,
repeat
now.
this.
All right.
hand.
So
What
we're
an
gonna.
insane.
So we're gonna. What are we doing? We check this now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna check it this time, and then we're gonna look at the sub. So we check.
Check, same thing.
Okay,
Now we go
now I think it
small,
changes.
right?
Now I think we bet small, yeah, for sure. So
Right?
I think yeah,
Still think you
1.8.
can bet bigger, yeah.
I would always do this in game if I check that flop.
Check. And
They have a
then
different
and
hand
then,
now. No.
Yeah, I still think it's probably checking back here. I don't think we're getting value from worse.
It's yeah.
I
Only
can't-
you can't ever bet this with third pair. It's like
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
Hey man, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out in the study group today. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, cheers everyone. Appreciate it.
Hey, good luck.
Yeah, 4 AM bedtime. Good night. Hey,
Take care.
I know.
laters.
So yeah, let's go back to the spot because once again, man, something maybe this is a spot where we should be not c-betting. Wow, dude.
No, you do. Just
Ain't
not this hand.
nobody in this room checking this board half the time. Are you guys checking this board half the time?
Well, so
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed about
Go ahead.
spots like this are like we have to get a C bet, but it doesn't really matter if it comes on the flop or the turn, right? Like if we're checking the flop, then we're delayed C betting the turn. If we're C betting the flop, then we're checking the turn. So it's like I get the 50%.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just find that in game in situations where we're flowing and it's just easy to see bet, man. You know what I'm saying? And like if I see bets in a spot or a reason to see bet. But I really like taking a lot of this range and mixing some check with it. What's the strongest hand we're checking here? Just second pairs we're checking. Any top pair? None.
Not weak top pairs.
You're weak.
Oh yeah. So this
Your
is
shitty
good.
queens, yeah.
And some shitty queen. Mixing some two pair check as well.
You always have to protect your range with checking some top pairs.
Yeah, I mean, especially at these lower SPRs, right? Like we're gonna be able to get the money in on future streets. We're gonna get our bet in. Like
you know
Mike
what?
was saying, this is very good. This is another.
I saw this sometime last week where it was a low SPR on a board that I would bet a lot, was checking a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. And I mean, this is going to be a good takeaway for me at these lower SPRs. We need to be mixing check. In these queen high boards, you know, we know we can bet a lot on our ace high boards with king high boards that are drier, good for us. But we're seeing a lot of these queen high boards with some connectivity where we're going to be like 40, 50% checking. So back to this. So button.
I was just, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna end up c betting 10-7, 9-7, 8-7.
Me too, man.
So
So I'm
they're
trying
pure check backs.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, this our exact hand. I'm like, absolutely, I check that back. But yeah, that 10-7, 9-7, 8-7. There ain't no way I'm checking those back.
Bro, you gotta, I mean, me, I'm looking at this ace jack like, oh, I would definitely see bet this. Like it's gold, right? If I call it check raise, I'm willing to die with this hand. All right, turn barreling strategy. We're gonna look at the report as well. Big blind check, we both check back. They're supposed to be betting here about 40% of the time. Obviously firing pretty big with their 7x. When it gets back to us though, what are we doing? Mixing with some of our ace highs. I'm always looking at our ace highs in this spot.
Yeah.
9-5. And we can go here. Full houses, trips. Let's get to no made hand. Bluff. King highs. I'm always looking at the trash. You know you're going to get to the spot with trash, or we're mixing with our ace highs, mostly kind of checking. Just getting the showdown with a lot of these, betting ace king. We can go over the reports real quick.
A lot of the checks are obvious checks,
Yeah.
like tens, nines, eights.
And to, I believe it was Michael's point earlier, like, we're betting more on the turn when it checks back to us than on the flop, right? On that flop, we were betting about 44% of the time or 60% of the time or something like that. We were checking 40-ish% of the time. On the turn when they check back to us twice, overall, we're betting like almost 70% of the time. So you get your delay C bet, you bet a bit more, even overall against all turn cards, right? Cool. Do a couple more. Actually, let me stretch my legs, get a water, and then I'm down to do a couple more if you guys are interested in hanging around and keep studying. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, let me get up real quick. I'll be back in 1 second, guys.
Sure.
I'll be right
Take a
back in a
break too.
second as well.
Sweet. Let's go. All right. So we're back. You guys hear me? I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're good.
All right. Let's do more. You guys want to change up the spot? This is a pretty tough damn spot. I think a lot of the mixing on the flop and turn has been kind of tough, but I feel like it's good. You guys want to mix it up, look at anything else, maybe take a moment if you guys have any hands. Also, this is a Q&A, so if you guys have any hands that you want to share, feel free to get those ready. We can post the link and we'll take a few minutes to look at those as well.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be an easy spot, but seems like we're getting a lot wrong. So
It's hard as hell.
We
Yeah.
definitely need to study this more.
It feels so simple. It's a spot we're in all the time. And I think one of the big takeaways is how often we should be checking. And someone kind of opened up my eyes is we get to get our c-betting in on the turn in a lot of these spots. And we don't just go crazy and c-bet range like maniacs. It's hard not to.
Yeah, and it seems like when we're making mistakes, they're not huge ones.
No,
between
no.
The checking and betting small.
No, and that's another thing. You guys, I mean, it's easy to beat ourselves up in these spots about making a mistake, right? Some of us have had some blunders, of course, but a lot of the decision to bet small or to check, the EV loss is literally thousands of a big blind. Like you're not making a massive mistake. It's not the best play versus the solver, but it might be the best play versus population because they overfold. And we're conditioned to maybe some of our opponents playing very poorly versus a bet, right? So take that into consideration. Don't over adjust if some of these c-bets are working for you, I would say, in your games. It would be my takeaway. But just being mindful that checking is a good option, especially when we're a little bit shallower SPR on some of these boards is also pretty reasonable. But people are starting to post some hands. Feel free to post, get those hands and links. We'll do maybe a hand or two, look at some of the marked hands, see where that takes us, and then kind of go from there. But right off the bat, let's go ahead and give Kanish a chance. You want to play this hand, buddy? You can type in chat if you need to, or you can come on the mic. Okay, how about Peter? Go ahead, buddy.
Sure. All right. Paired board, very dangerous. Ace high has showdown value. Doesn't want to get check raised off its backdoor equity. I'm checking.
He's checking. Who is on team c-bet? And if you would c-bet this in game, would you? I mean, be honest. Who's c-betting this in game?
Yeah, I think
Me.
I might.
I probably would for the back door.
I would always c-bet this in game,
Yeah.
and I would actually probably be checking this almost 0%. And it's a mistake. I know. We probably do mix check here as
Probably
well.
20%.
So
Now there's
Yeah.
checks mixed in, but I think I'd bet small.
me too. Let's go ahead and check and watch
Oh, I hate to
Peter
check
be
these things,
right.
but-
No, it is always bet.
No.
Oh, thank
Keep
God. I was about
yourself
to say-
uncapped.
Goodness.
I was about to say, bro, I have never checked this spot. Like, I was scared. Like, you had me convinced I was about to be wrong, bro.
Yeah, the big blind doesn't have a lot of fours and twos.
Yeah, they fold out like 4 deuce off. Like, that's what I'm thinking. They fold out like a bunch of deuces and like 10-4 off. They don't have 9-4, 8-4 off. But yeah, it actually wants to go 33. I'll probably go quarter pot. I hit my quarter pot button here, so it's in
Yeah.
between these. So yeah.
I wonder
But
if
let's
it's
go and do this.
I wonder
Peter.
if it's because you can get value from worse aces that have to call that have straight interaction here.
Ace 4 or ace 3, ace 5, all the wheel stuff's gonna call you, sure.
Yeah.
Just ace high in general probably call you.
What?
All of them, yeah.
Plus it'll clean up some equity with hands that have 40% or
Yep, 2 live
6 out.
cards.
Yeah.
backdoors.
10-9, yeah, king jack, all that stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
it-
he has to call
All
us
his
a king
Broadway
highs.
stuff's probably supposed to float too.
I was gonna say on the flop, there. This flop is almost just a c-bet range.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's just a c-bet range small.
Me happy. It
Don't
sounds good.
overthink it.
Nope. Peter, what are you thinking now?
So the king is a really good card for in position here. He's gonna have folded out some kings. So I think we're going to keep betting. It doesn't bring any backdoor flush draws, so we're just gonna get more folds. So if we bet the flop, I think we bet again here. I don't think we have to bet big. We're just
Okay.
targeting auto folds. The problem is we're just beating all of those hands that we're betting out.
Right. If he does, if
Right,
you
like-
say he doesn't have a king, then why are you betting?
Yeah, like I don't know why we're getting value other than just kind of cleaning up equity from two cards that can hit. Right? Which is why I probably would have checked the flop, and I would have checked this turn too.
The only thing
But
you're
I
betting
know-
against is like just the naked cards that are gonna, you know, like I said, 10-9 or queen jack suited or something that floated, like, you know.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are we
let's-
betting for value or are we betting as an equity denial protection
Yeah.
type deal? You know,
More than anything, but
so you
Yeah.
were advocating betting small, correct? Or
Yeah, if the king is good for our range, so we're gonna want to bet it. But
yeah, well, I mean, in retrospect, when we have a hand that doesn't have showdown value, I think ace high probably just shows down well enough. But even here, man, like if you feel like you made an incorrect play, it doesn't like it, but their EV difference isn't like, you know, like you have a little bit more fold equity. It is not, you shouldn't feel horrible. Like,
No.
you're not,
But
these are
I
bad.
mean,
we'd bet our queen jack here though, you know,
On,
anything that didn't jack
mhm.
10 or something, we'd be betting here too, because with that doesn't have showdown. The ace does, like you were saying. Got there.
You got there and he did this. The solver let us take this line because it does it 0.5%. So it's not alien move. What do you want to do now, Peter? You were down a slippery slope. You just calling or are you ever gonna raise?
so we beat all the kings and we lose or chop with anything better. We don't get value from a worse ace here because it's chop pot. So I'm just gonna call.
Raise!
Never call a chop
my
pot. Either raise or
Everyone loves a chop pot.
Peter, every street, the solver hated you.
I know.
Needles. Needles.
that's an old maxim from poker. This old guys know that. The solver
Just
group doesn't know.
hated it.
You
Yeah.
you don't ever just call for a chop pot.
Punish him. You know he doesn't have, yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I was
shoot.
like sitting there thinking like,
Play it.
I
Don't
just want to,
call.
I want to say that I would click this back, but no, I got to just call. But I definitely had the thought that I wanted to click that one
To
back.
raise, yeah, because you just want to raise there. That
It's
block
so
bet
small,
is
yeah.
never. How do I get back?
No, so the next one over. Oh, so study the spot. Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say, the one thing that Peter said about on the flop and where we're betting small there, he like you had mentioned him folding out kings. There's no king that he's gonna fold to
Let's
a
see.
20% c bet.
We
So
go
I mean,
20% BB. Not a single fucking king is folding. Not
yeah,
a
he's
one.
gonna
to
call
20%.
one
all
It
his
meets
aces,
MDF.
all his kings.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
meets
it just
MDF.
has enough trash.
Yep. He's only allowed to fold 24% of hands. He has to call with 75% of his range. He's only literally folding middling dog shit. Everything else is just in there. In real life, people are folding like 40% here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is why I can't help myself. Like, dude, just clean it up.
Yeah,
It's
do you-
good. You know?
Do you find full frequency calls with king six of clubs there?
Yes. Versus quarter,
Oh
but
yeah.
no, but
I
you know
ain't
what?
gonna
You know what the
lie, I
problem
don't.
is? Well, I mean, I don't. What I've been trying to do, what I've been experimenting with the last few weeks, is just check raising like a maniac versus the small bit, like a fucking madman. I'm probably check raising 25% versus some of these guys just see betting range because they don't call correctly versus they overfold to the check raise. So we're playing, we're playing on levels where people are overfolding to the C bets, and then they're overfolding to the check. Because when we check raise here, this is what's cool. So it wants us to raise. Our most frequent size is the 5.75. Let's see. Do you think population who C bets range on this board? Where are we at? We went 5.75, not fold. Is calling like queen 8 without the back door.
Oh.
Or even with the back door in some cases, they're folding, right?
Yeah, all the backdoor flushes. are
King
called.
Jack high. I would even venture to guess some people are folding ace 8, 10-8, all this stuff. I don't know. I don't think people I think people overfold.
Yeah, I'm not calling there.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean
was gonna say-
9-7 and stuff like this. People are out of there.
I was
know?
gonna say a lot like sixes. I've been on these low boards when I'm in a big blind defend, and I know that they over C bet. I'm over check
Oh,
raising.
I am out of control.
Just
like I'm just
like
exploiting.
way
so-
over, and then it's still small enough that if they then jam on me or whatever, then I can fold. But yeah, I'm just like way over solver frequency on the check raise.
Yeah, I mean it's
on the
something we
big
get to
blind.
experiment with. I don't know. It's we're starting to see population over the years. Now everybody's good enough to know the C bet, right? So everybody knows to defend in the big blind, right? And now people overfold to certain C bets. One thing now, everybody knows the C bet versus a big blind defend, but they don't know how to handle check raises because population overfolds to C bet for the most part. So when you check raise, they overfold. They think your range is too strong. Yada yada yada. Here's our C betting range. A big blind just called in this spot, and we look at turns and see versus a call range. I just want to throw a random up how we should be proceeding. It's just
bombing
it, and then I'm going to look at the report because it's the easiest way. Probably low card bad. Oh, damn! If double pairs, you just eat. What?
Well,
Ace?
aren't you
They never
holding
have-
like ace 9 in this situation?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
but this is just like in general with our whole range.
Yeah, this is
I
it
mean,
with our range,
any turn card that comes up. Yeah.
The king high is particular. I mean, a fairly high check frequency. As you
Yeah,
can see, they
king
would
high,
never
it's
fold
about-
the king. It's like half the time. So
Kings
king
and
high.
fives.
Yeah.
Guess the big blind has a lot of kings.
Yeah.
Then a four.
Fours going more
Fours,
crazy.
obviously, we boat up, and they never have good boats, so they're dead.
Because we're uncapped.
Yeah, we have aces, and they're just stone dead.
We got all the
We have
pairs,
we
yeah.
have all the pairs. They have none of the pairs.
Yeah, and when it comes to it's less likely they have a deuce in their hand to board double pairs. They're wrecked. Fives and kings are pretty bad, or fives and kings are pretty bad, man. 5, 6s, and kings, and then the rest of this we just kind of bet a lot. 10, we bet a lot. So yeah, it's kind of like intuitive. This is actually fairly intuitive.
The
The
thing
solver
here
has
is,
officially disowned me.
if you look at the cards under 8, it changes the strategy from to polarized betting or checking. And then
Yes.
cards over 8, it still is
Small.
trying to range bet, right? The 9s, the 10s, the jacks, the queens, and less with the queens and kings. But the response still isn't polar with the king or the queen. It's still a small bet. The bottom ones are the ones where your pairs of jacks, 10s, and 9s want the protection.
To go
now.
polar and go giant. Yeah. Good point. Where did my spot go? Oh, this is the wrong one. It's this one. Get away. There we go. Ooh, 3 low cards under a 6, 25 bigs, and effective. Skate or die. I haven't called you today, my man. How you doing, buddy? Let's get it in.
Good. Well, we talked about the low middling cards here. We're gonna want to check mostly.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's go ahead with the check.
Yeah, 3 low cards under a 6. We don't have a spade. Does it even want to just use this as a no equity bluff because
Yeah. I don't see
no.
how we could, pick up even.
It
pick up
does.
even-
It does. I mean, you can
Yeah.
mix your strategy. It's just like you stab one time and then you find good barrel cards. But overall, good check. It's pretty
Right,
dog
right.
shit.
You gotta mix because you don't always want to bet good hands and check. Right. Bet
But
good hands and
remember the
check bad
point that I
hands.
made when we first said, my thought is, yeah, you can check, but do you also want to use this just as a no equity? These are the spots I think it is sometimes important to RNG, because you don't just every time you see 6-4 deuce with Jack 9 say, I'm gonna check here.
Right.
You're gonna get ran over. You're just gonna be face up as hell. So sometimes in games, especially versus some opponents, I have a little RNG or number count, and then I'll just roll it. And then say, okay, I'm just gonna one and done this big. If it's a king or something, it's good for my range. I'm probably bluffing again. But yeah.
No, I was thinking about that actually the other day. I think yesterday, like, hey, the people have been talking about randomizing their bets, and some people have different ways to do it. I mean, maybe just looking at your watch, doing your own kind of strategy thing, or
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you're gonna be more
Yeah.
in tune with what's going on in the tournament, with the stacks around you, with the game flow, with the opponent, that you don't need to have a randomizer because your opponents aren't going to be balanced or care like that, right?
you do want to have some kind of balance, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Something, right?
in some games, it's just something, it's just something to think about. There's going to be inflection points in this tournament where you don't want to fucking torch 3 big blinds and this guy's never folding. He's not folding frequently enough, or he's straightforward enough. You don't want to try to make him fold, where just check. You don't even have to randomize in a spot like, ooh, it's 30 left. I don't think he's folding enough. I'm not even going to find myself torching 3 bigs because it's not going to be effective enough versus his opponent.
Right.
That's
It's
just
also
a kind of long-winded discussion there for spots like this.
right, and also player dependent. Like how strong is the opponent in the big blind post flop. Yeah.
Yep.
If you think of a spot where you have a random choice like this, I like to choose the relevant suit blockers as the defining movement for my random choices. So I will bet most when I have a spade and
course,
heart, and then bet less with just a spade and a club, and then bet the very least with a club and a diamond.
Unblocking the backdoor, more and more backdoor combos he can continue with. That's a very good point as well. And I think that's something you can do as well. That might be the easiest. Good call, Peter. Thank you.
I like that.
So what are you doing here, Skate?
Okay, here, well, he checked back right on the turn.
Yep.
Double paired board. He didn't bet the flop. Let's
Twice.
I think we're supposed to check here, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick a pot. I can't control myself.
You're gonna bet how much?
55%.
This?
Yeah, that right there.
All right, Mama, there goes that man again. Good luck. Are we turning this into a bluff? We did see we were going to delay bet at higher frequency in the last situation where it went check, check. This hand is jack high dog shit. Does it want to bluff?
A little bit, but be checking.
This is why poker's hard as hell. Like, sure, I guess, but he wants to preferably use a smaller one.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird dynamic hand where on the turn, because it went check check on the flop, the big blind, everything that's small, they're just gonna overbet.
They're gonna bomb it, yeah.
They're just gonna bomb it. And so then it's hard to bet this because everything that they're checking on the turn is big hands. Like all their king highs, all their ace highs. I mean, all that's checking on the turn, but what they're betting with on the turn is
we're about to
small.
look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now here you go. So really quick, just to recap what we're looking at. They can, dude, you're not gonna see this. They can lead for
Also lead that
33%,
board, yeah.
almost 40% of the time. Pretty dynamic for them, but they elected to check. Our betting
yeah.
range is 50-50. I think we alluded earlier in the discussion where someone was mentioning, what does our range look like to bet these boards, since we don't get to bet much and it's 50. Since we're using large sizings with 8s, 9s, 10s, and jacks, look around this region. Jack 10 mixing some giant bets with the spade, right? 9, Jack 9 in that same region with in there, 9-10 also in there, since we're using some big bets. Jack 8. So it's all these same kind of cards to match the same property as the cards we're gonna overbet.
I hate how
as well.
sometimes we know what we're supposed to do, but then we don't do it. We don't apply it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep, that is
Hate that.
Every single day time I play poker. Yep. We got Jack 8 here, 8-6. All of our 6s are just going giant. I mean, 80%.
Needs a lot of protection.
Lot of protection. But when we check back, we get to the turn. They were supposed to bet.
This is where it gets fun.
Overbet. Overbet.
They just all their
yam
small
it.
cards, they just overbet.
That's a lot of purple.
But then look at what they're checking.
Yeah,
And
all their
that's
high
why
cards.
it's scary to bet Jack 9.
Checking all his high cards, showdowns with the
everything.
kings, aces. He just, yeah. He's got
The
better
straight
hands to bet here.
5-3 is checking to, dude. This is damn.
Lots
So you gotta
of
be
boards
careful.
checking.
Checks.
It's crazy. This is a spot
That's why
the
we go
solver
small.
almost plays face up on this turn. It's
Mhm.
either they've got the low cards like a 4 or 3, or they've got higher cards than you do.
They got high cards. If they check and if they bomb it, they have something low. And this is why I advocate like it's reasonable to just go large on turn. I think it's good. I mean, like you just fold out some of this shit and they're pretty like straightforward in their range. What if you do? We went like this. Yeah, look at, I mean,
He's still, yeah. Check raise, check, raise.
God, man, if people played this good at poker, it'd be so hard. If everybody played this good, it'd be fun. Time to find a new
Yeah,
job.
definitely a spot. The general pop is not going to play the big
Hell
blind
to the
strategy on this
no.
turn.
No way.
Look at him go nuts with 8-5 off, Jack 5 off.
Just
But funny thing is like general population and the big
Some of
blind
them.
on this turn is probably going to reverse this, and they're going to go big with all their garbage and check all their 4s and 3s and 5s.
They trappy. They're too much trappy in the big one.
Yeah.
all right. Let's take a second I have a few hands that were sent in from B Money. We got Peter sent in a hand. Larry sent in a hand. If you guys have any other hand, take a quick moment to look at some marked hands.
Yeah, throw them up.
Always fun.
Yeah.
I'm clicking them over here on the side. I have, if you want to load them here in the chat, what I would ask you to do is take them from your replayer, get them converted to either the upswing replayer or something like that, and then post that link.
Okay.
Use one of the upswing hand converters or something like that, and you can post it here. Or if you play on global, obviously the link's here. B Money, if you show another hand when you're out playing me again, I'm banning you from this channel. We love doing that. No, I'm kidding. All right, we have King Jack, full 3x. All right away. Anybody 3-betting this pre ever? Yay, nay.
Off versus under the gun.
Yeah,
3x.
like, I feel
feel
like
like
we
it
probably
would.
are supposed to, but
Yeah,
no.
we're deep. I think there is some.
Yeah. I'm just
I'm sorry. That's what I was alluding to. I think there's a frequency of it, and I think everybody in here is 98% just call, because it's really fucking easy to hit that call button. and know in the back of your mind subconsciously you're supposed to do it, and never do it and say, oh, I'll do it one day. It's okay to mix in 30% of the time or something. Like, we should be doing this. It makes you harder to play against. Just some food for thought. So we check. All right. Versus 60% c-bet. Is this in our check raising range versus an under the gun 60% c-bet? Let me hear your opinion. Jackson, if you're still out there, what do you think? Mimi beating his ass, there's no way. Cameron, what do you think about this spot, man? You just call here all the time. You have thoughts on check raising?
I probably don't check raise enough. I'm probably calling here a lot.
Okay. Acknowledging that there may be some frequency of check raising here with one of our best kings. Okay, cool. Let's see what he does. We'll look at it in the solver. I personally think even versus the big size, it may mix a little bit of this ace jack, maybe full frequency, but yeah, under the gun this deep, he still has overpairs and things like that. We block kings. I'd imagine it still does it at some frequency though. Turn check. He goes 12-6. Okay.
3-4s. Yes.
I don't think we're check raising here on a turn.
Jack. Oh, piss.
Wow.
My goodness. Well,
I mean, I'm sure the solver's gonna make you call this at some frequency, but
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
So I have a very bad tendency of folding the top of my range. So every fiber in my being wants to fold this. So I made a point of calling here, even though I'm like 90% sure I'm so good. That's how I approach this in game. But I knew that in solver, you can't fold this ever.
But this is real life. This is not us playing against the wizard right now. If we face this on a daily basis and you condition, are we always beat here is the question. Are people capable of triple barreling with a worse hand?
Queen Jack, Jack 10.
But are they even, what can those hands in real life get caught by when they do this? Is this guy a moron that can jump triple jack? You have to ask yourself, is somebody stupid enough to triple jack 10 for this size? This is not a free roll. There's real money on the line here.
Sized up every street, triple barrel. I'm looking at this going, he's got ace jack, he's got queens, kings, or aces. I'm folding. I know it's like scary, but the way he played this hand is sizing up on every street. I'm dead.
Dude, this is real life. Like, if I'm okay, I'll be honest. If like I have a bad tendency sometimes to solver land, call this in a low stakes. If I'm playing a 500 and we're gonna have some very strong hands here, and I think some of these satty guys early stages are just tripling for value, bombing it. This might be a fold, man. But let's see what the solver
here is that it's very hard to identify where his triple barrel bluff comes from. The only triple barrel bluff he has is 10-9
ace queen. No, people use ace queen as well. Just 1, 2, 3.
Queen 10 suited.
Queen 10, 1, 2, 3. It feels like such a name bitch to even talk about folding this out loud. I am not hosting a Nits Anonymous group. I don't want to be folding some top pairs. This is not what we're here to be doing or even considering. But is it just viable? And what's the solver going to say? We have to have a bottom range here. So let's construct this. We have under the gun.
I feel like this has to be the bottom of our calling range.
Dude,
like,
right?
Like this has to be the bottom.
Solver is going to call king jack, queen jack, maybe jack 10. But
and then something else that gets me is that the turn and river cards were not great cards for him to keep barreling.
No, not at all.
I mean, he is supposed to eat here. I mean, he went 60% on the flop, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And our king jack, this is the question. Little bit, mostly
Little bit.
calling, little bit. I thought it would be a little bit more, but it's actually loves king queen more.
Yeah.
How much
Top pair.
EV would I be losing?
Top pair's just calling.
I gotta be honest, I'm surprised that he didn't jam river. So to me, this seems like a value soak. So
So
I'm
value
gonna
heavy.
kind of fold here because I think his bluffs should be going all in here. My bluffs are, and I think his best value should be going all in here too.
We'll see. Yeah.
With a 2-to-1 stack, the pot ratio on the river, you got to find some
Bottom of the
overbets.
turn.
Six is just, I don't want to spoil it, but take note of the river ranges.
Take note of the river ranges. Okay. He went 83% here, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went 12.
Yeah.
And then the river was another 6.
We
Yep.
call, can't fold.
We call,
top.
and then looking at this.
All our jacks are calling, yeah.
Damn, it's just, I mean,
Even
king
a
jack
nine's
is
calling, ace nine is calling.
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at how big this number is right now, and then
Not even
seeing-
marginal.
I can't even like, yeah. And then it was like what, the 6
Paired the board, 6, yeah.
It doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
6 of diamonds.
And I'm sure you
Yeah,
probably
a
have some
little bit.
leads
Look
here.
at all the
Some
diamonds.
blockers
Blocker
too.
it.
We're supposed to
Blocker it.
lead here. Wow.
Yeah, blocker.
That's why I showed this hand, because I definitely don't have this in my game at all. Check call 2 barrels and then block lead the river.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I tried it a few times just when it feels like they're gonna check back at some frequency and we don't want to face a big raise from their value range. It's so
Well,
sick.
plus,
Gonna turn
like
and
if he
face up.
does have like ace king, ace queen here, and you check, and then he's normally gonna bomb it. You do this blocker bet, he
It's
freezes up.
Yeah, freezes them.
Yeah, can we bookmark this spot for another session?
This
Leading
specific-
on the river.
No, we can just do a whole day on some of that kind of stuff. I have a notepad up with some ideas of some Thursday sessions I want to host. We get into some spots like that, and I think that would be good. We had a leading on the turn day where I think it was phenomenal. A lot of people here picked up a lot of value. We went through 2 to 3 hours of spots where we can lead on the turn, and it was great. But yeah, that's a great call, Michael. We'll try to do something like that.
Didn't sixes, to throw this out there too. Didn't Matt Affleck just do one about river probes and river leads?
Right.
Probe.
yeah. A couple weeks ago, he did 2 series on it.
Yep. So we
So
get
maybe
here to
check
the
that
river.
out.
Oh yeah, for sure. The biggest they don't have pot, they have 32. So we check, they go 3-2. And king jack ain't never, ever. It's actually just
Go back,
fucking
go to the
horrific.
under the gun again. I wanna see
No.
what is,
Yeah, he had an all-in size. That
what's
purple
this
is all in.
bluffing?
Well, we didn't
No,
say we didn't
he
say
didn't-
all in pot.
He didn't go all in. He went pot.
Yeah, it's
But I said
10
he
8
should have.
bluffing.
I said he should have gone all in. Like when he doesn't go all in, it's a value soaking size.
You know what? This is actually kind of sad. I mean, pot's actually kind of tough because we give him 150 and it is marginal, right? 32 a call, over bet marginal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has all the
in is a
sixes.
fucking fold. All
Yeah,
in is a
but-
fold.
But the marginal equity is like negative 0.001. So
But what it's
I
saying
think
is,
I think at a pot size bet, it's still going to be in there.
no, but what you guys aren't considering is his potting range is strong as fuck. His potting range is practically his all-in range.
Yeah.
I think these guys don't go all in with the range they're supposed to. And what he
Right.
pots and triple with is the same range he should be going all in with, which makes it this kind of fucking like It's only not negative E because we don't lose our entire stack, but I think it's more like this. I think it's always strong as fuck, dude. I mean, let's see what range
Yeah.
she's supposed to
Go
do.
back
Yeah,
to the
in
unbroken
game, yeah, but
river. So
Yeah,
he
'cause
has
he's-
10
I was gonna
8,
say, he
10
doesn't
8s is
have a-
bluffs, 8 7 suited.
They
and
don't
his
even
gutters is
have.
bluffs.
I mean, maybe they have. Okay, so we can omit
Got
some of the
quads.
underpair. Well, these
Pocket
this
fives
is
are supposed to
that
bluff.
people probably don't do it with these 4s and 5s. They have sets.
Yeah, but
Maybe
look at that ace king suited. Ace kings are supposed to bluff all in. Ace queens supposed to bluff all in.
this is so disgusting.
Ace 5 suited's all in. Ace
Yeah.
7 suited. Like, yeah.
This is
So he's got bluffs here. That's what we're picking off with our jack here. That's the only reason we're calling is he's still got a range that has half and half with bluffs here.
I don't
But,
know.
I
Missed
mean,
draws.
Again, in real life, are you finding people
Right,
going
that's
this
what
big
you
at
gotta
all three
decide
streets?
is whether you think this guy's
And then I'm like
bluffing
looking
ace
at the
5 suited
range
for
and
you to be able to call a jack. Right?
Yeah,
Or if he
go
has,
back to-
if he has 10 8 here, then you gotta call your jacks,
All
right?
right.
So that's what you gotta determine.
Yeah, I'm never going.
And
all
this
in
is
with calls.
a piss mid stakes 55.
Right, I mean, you gotta
on
know your player
global.
pool.
What
here.
does
That's
he
what-
have? Here we go.
Yeah,
Is it aces?
he's probably got kings.
Like I
pocket
said,
nines.
ace jack, queens plus.
Yeah.
Ace jack, yeah. Just cooler city.
I mean, I'm not gonna say there aren't times, situations, moments, reads where that's not unfoldable. Like we don't want to like be talking about playing nitty, and his solver didn't love it for an all in, but this motherfucker 1 2 3 all big sizings and potted when the board pair like no fear Jew. But that's okay.
And I ain't gonna say that there's definitely times in real life I'm calling that, even though I know that I'm probably dead.
Did you see me last night?
On that guy.
Just in the event that I'm good, I'm calling it, but most of the time I'm dead. And you're muted, Toe.
Never, ever folding it, especially on global where someone's going to take queen jack and go nuts.
One thing I know, one thing I thought was a cool thing to look at though is the calling EV there is like 13 big blinds, but I think the donking EV is like it's like 20 something. So the donking EV on the river is much higher
Just
than
makes him turn his
talk
hand
dirty to
face
me.
up.
What did you just say?
Yeah, the EV for
20?
donking this is way better
Blocking
than the EV
the
for
river.
What was the hand we
your
looked at? Remember?
blocker bet on the river.
It makes
Quick
him turn his
question.
hand face up, so he's gonna tell you if he has
Yeah.
a freaking overpair or a jack.
Oof.
And you
Quick
can just
question
get away
about
from
our-
it cheaper than having to call 40 bigs.
Yep,
here.
yep.
Quick question about our docking frequency there. Does our docking frequency increase on river because the board paired? and we
Yes.
have-
Yes.
Yes.
it's
And it
actually
just stops you from having to make this nasty ass fucking quote hero call.
And you've shown up with the more condensed range after calling 2 bets as well. And then the board pairs, and sometimes with your value and your value region, they're going to be checking back. And then they're going to also find some raises for versus some of your 6X in your range. So it's awesome. You're balanced here. You're not just blocking. So when you get do it with this and get raised, oh baby.
Yeah, I saw this hand a couple days ago.
You've
You
done
can see
that.
the
You've done
dog.
that.
I've
in
done
the
it,
hand history show it.
but yeah, it's not intuitive, and I love it.
Yeah, I was, oh, that's
I
a
saw
nice
this a couple
little
days ago.
lead, Toe.
Was in love.
Yeah.
And in reality, the under the gun only has two hands with a 6.
He
Ace,
doesn't have many sixes, but
ace 6 of spades and ace 6 of clubs.
Maybe 6-7 suited if they're a little looser.
All right, let's take a look at this hand. We'll try to
GG.
replay the action. I believe this is my man Peter. A hand history from Peter. $50 sunset special. Let's see. The blinds are 2-4. We started the hand with what? Does it show all that?
25 big blinds.
So 25 big blinds. Folds to us.
We raised.
Dude, I can't. I have a hard time reading this shit because I never.
We raised in the button. We raised in the button flats.
We raised in the button flats. Okay. And then
check bet raise call.
That only
We
helped for
check
one
raise
street.
the flop.
And
We check.
then-
He c-bets. Oh, we check raise the king 10 and he calls.
Yep.
The turn, we turn a.
Then he just leads the turn.
Yeah, I mean, we're
jams
open
turn.
ended with an over.
No, he is.
So,
Oh, no.
no, we do.
yeah,
We check
yeah, yeah.
raise. We check raise with king 10 and then we just jam the turn.
Yeah.
And then he calls with top two with the backdoor flush draw and yee. Is our hand a thing? Is this a thing? Are you guys using this as a check raise at 25? What do you guys think about this line? So from my understanding, we open in the cutoff low jack, button calls. At 25, jack 9-4 flop. We check, they bet about 30-ish% pot, 40% pot.
Yeah, 1.8 big.
Yep. And we check raise to 2.5 with this combo.
Yeah,
It's a lot of good
we
blockers.
3x.
He calls and then we just rip it in with this much equity.
Yeah, we improve our equity on the turn and block the value of the backdoor flush with the 10 of heart, 10 of clubs.
I mean, a opponent is supposed to call more often than not, right? Because I mean, a set wouldn't be played.
We're in a
this way.
hijack, actually.
A good hand wouldn't be played this way. It looks like a.
I don't
a
think
silly
jack 9
bluff.
suited's a call there. It's probably a.
I probably
bet.
don't check raise.
Yeah, I think I'd probably see bet with the gut shot
We
and
don't
one
do too
over.
much. Yeah, I mean, you know what? The solver might mix a little bit of this since we wrap and have some connectivity around the jack. Obviously, we have a very high checking frequency out of position. Some of these
Yeah.
combos kind of make some sense. I would just normally just check call and see what develops. It could be a leak, but yeah, I'm very curious. This is a great hand to look at. And I think check raising is viable. So right away, big takeaway, sit your ass down, no c betting.
There
Go to
is a
your room.
little bit with this combo.
A little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, I mean-
this is your worst king that mimics what you would do with pocket kings.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be like spewing it, but it's just not really a thing. Mostly checking. I would go check call. Let's see what I mean, maybe check raise is good. He goes, how many bigs?
Hit check.
First, you got to go
Oh,
check.
we gotta
check.
check, I'm sorry, yep. And then we
And
go,
he goes 1.35.
I thought you went 2.2 with 8K out there.
Four big,
Pure call.
4 bigs. He bets 7.
So yeah, we're pure calling this. Then our check raises are gonna come from, we need stronger, king, queen, the 2 overs, and then we need the top pair. King 8's also getting in there. Make sure we can see the board as well. Sets. So yeah, we just want to be much stronger here. The king 10,
You don't want to block the 10x. That's his folding range.
yeah, I'm probably, I feel like in game, as I said, I don't have this. I was kind of be scared to see. It's like, it makes some sense, but feels better to call. So when we do check raise, do we ever have any range of hands? This is important. Are we just gonna rip in like any of our missed draws on turn when we do check raise, right? So, because that's what we have here. So we check, they go there. We use the small check raise size, or did you go closer to 6?
3x.
He went like 3x, so the smaller one.
Yep, small one.
And then an 8 of clubs. We go here.
You can lead here, not jam, but you can lead.
Yeah, no jams, but we do have.
Yeah, it should definitely be leading here.
Yeah, we want to lead when we do check raise. In our king 10, if we did do it here, even though it's infrequent, it does just follow through with the small sizing. Because if you did have the nuts, or if you did turn queen 10, or a very strong hand, 10-7, backdoor something, 2 pair sets, you probably wouldn't want to go just all in.
And you should default.
Right. I think the solver like to go all in with hands that have
No.
better equity.
Nothing.
Extra equity.
It's right here.
Yeah, not here, but
You have
I mean,
the
maybe
wrong.
if you had
The wrong
if you had
4
extra
on the
equity.
flop brings the flush draw too.
Yeah. Oh, it's the wrong one.
Yeah, 4 of
No, you're
clubs.
8.
Let's
of
just make it the eight of spades.
Yeah, it's the four.
Oh, you
Yeah,
had
the eight of
four
spades would match
so it'd
it.
Be the eight of spades, yeah.
Still no
Same
all
thing,
in,
it didn't
but-
change anything.
Yeah. still
I was
no
wondering if
all
that
in.
changed anything.
Nope.
Maybe, right. If your hand was suited, does that change
Grieved it.
anything?
For some reason, a small sliver of ace seven suited.
See a little A7 getting nasty in there. Yeah, right there. Some five head
The,
shit.
the flush draw.
Yeah, with
If
the
you have all
spade.
sliver or queen jack suited too.
If you have
Yeah.
pocket queens that
queens.
want to do it for value, you have to find a bluff.
So yeah, we don't really want to use this as a check raise, but I want to see when I check calling game, do I ever, because in game, I'm going to check call. So button does this, we just call, and then let's put the eight of spades on turn. King 10 never leading queens.
Yeah, no,
finally
you
leading.
can't lead.
No, I mean, aces if you somehow had it. So we check. I want to see how we respond. So button now uses its more frequent size of 5. How about
Gonna
king
double
10?
it. You're gone.
Just fold them. We just missed. We just missed. Okay.
So the check
Don't be a
raise,
hero.
yeah. When
Don't
you
be a
check
hero.
raise, you can lead it, but once you check call, you're
Yeah,
capped. and
you
you're
tried to
done.
realize and you don't be a hero with even with this much equity on a turn.
It still does stuff the king 10 there a little bit too, though.
I mean, yeah, it is, but it's all losing. It's
Negative
doing
equity.
it. It's doing it to be brave. You know,
It's a losing bluff.
Yeah, it's a losing balance play that you need to have just to not get ran over, whatever, you know. But thanks for the hand. That was a good one. Let me see. Larry posted a hand from Global as well.
Cassius Clay.
Oh, this is a cash game hand, huh?
No, this
hand.
is a three-handed SNG.
Oh, it's three-handed sit and go. Okay. So C-bet half pot, a little like 40%.
Big blind defense.
We just call.
Yeah.
Any check raises here? Nah, it's probably gonna be, if so, marginal mixed frequency, but mostly calling, especially with two paint.
Yeah, you
Can't
got
fold,
kicker
nothing to think
issues.
about. Dead. Don't lead or anything. There's nothing to see here. You lost.
You bluffing.
I mean,
Bluffing it.
hell no.
Turn your king into a bluff with a 4-liner.
So I guess the question you're having here is this going to meet MDF? Or should we be calling here or doing anything? Is anybody
that's a
doing
good
anything
question.
here?
Would he
With the
just go half,
4-liner.
half the whole way?
I tend to believe it. We're calling to get half our money back at best. We're beat a lot. And yeah, it's a button range, but actually just still 1, 2, 3. I'm out of there, but
Was this a 6-player sit and go?
Yeah, so we're on the bubble. and
So
I cover.
this is on the bubble. This is an ICM spot, so it's,
Oh, because only 2 get paid. Yeah.
yeah.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I play
Even
them.
tighter because it's
Yeah.
a bubble spot.
And
And this
so
guy's got
we-
22 even bigs, like, dude.
And he's tripling into the chip leader. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I
He ain't scared
mean,
of shit.
this is without ICM, right? It's gonna be even tighter
Right.
with ICM.
Yeah, you're probably full
So-
turn.
Let's see, he went half pot, half pot, half pot, pretty much. We check.
I'd consider folding turn almost.
Damn, half pot. Let's just do this because it was closer to half pot.
Yeah, I think he just went half, half, half.
Do king 8,
No.
never check raising. Let's
So
see if
this
he
is what I
does
was
too.
curious about. So the better our kicker, the more check raises we get. The very top of our.
It's a combination of two things. It's not only your kicker, it is the bet size. The bigger their bet size, and in relation to the smaller their bet, the more you check raise. If he goes 60% here, or 100% pot, dude, you know what I'm saying? You might
It
only have
narrows
king-
your range. Yeah.
and narrow your range. But if he goes, the smaller he goes, right? He goes this size,
Then you
even
can
gets
call
in
more.
king 8 a little bit, you know? King eight's even in there a little bit more. How about when he goes this? Gone. You know, now it is not only the relative strength of your hand, but it is also a function of their bet size. So be considerate of that as well in these spots where you see you want to check raise. It's a function of both.
Your kings are still never folding.
Yep, but we call.
You got the bet wrong on the for the
I get it.
button.
It's cool. I mean, yeah, he went 2 in game and he went 2 into 4.5. It was heads up. He went 2 into 4.5.
Oh, I thought he won half.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 4.5 bigs in that pot. So he did that. We called the 10. Hell no, we're never leading. We check. And then he went half pot again, right?
Yeah.
Damn, he's supposed to.
So.
He's supposed to be mashing this, man. This is where people aren't doing this.
Yeah, he's supposed to polarize.
This 5 bet that we're doing here, the 60% shit that we're all doing is bad. Look at this.
When you're deep, 60 to 100 bigs, you just pound the turn a lot.
I got it. I'm just too much 60 and 75% pot. Just pound it. I mean, 80% pot's good.
Yeah, this deep half pot bet's usually not a thing.
Nah, but that's what he did. So he elected to use his 5%. Even on turn, well, yeah, we have these are 2 pair. These are straight. It's mixing with the straight draw on the back doors. But we elect to call. And then the river is the dreaded queen, right?
Yep.
Queen of hearts. Yeah, that was queen of hearts. Getting a little nasty ourselves with some of our
9s you can lead.
What the
straight?
9s are straight, so they can lead.
Oh no, but 4 and 3 is dust and it's
blockers. Yeah, just
7-4. I would label somebody a dunk so quick.
If you're trying to get 2 pair to fold, like what does King Jack do here when you lead donk on a 4-liner?
For 2?
They call, but you're trying to get single pair hands.
Right.
River, so river, we check. Here's the $1 million question.
You got to do that with your aces too, though.
Bro, his size is he broke the solver. We can't look at this. It's not even a thing. What do we do when something's not a thing?
You just try as best you can.
These guys.
Use the 18.5. There's 3% there.
All right, well, your king 8's too weak, but it's calling 2 pair when they do this shit. It's calling
Can we
it
look
2
at
pair.
Summary and see if we call any single pairs. I think we fold all our single pairs.
Oh, we can't do that.
Sorry, the summary.
Oh, for the summary. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. We could do the summary. No.
No hand. Sorry, I meant hand. Sorry. And that's it. So does our top pair? Some top pairs call. Which top pair calls? That's 2 pair, right?
Yeah, even some 2 pairs are folding
Yeah,
out.
we're just a 4-liner. We're entirely indifferent.
I'm gonna give the session the 10-minute warning. 10-minute warning before I rest up. Football practice for the kids and session tonight. But yeah, in regards to this spot, real life heroing is going to be pretty rough, man. Trying to find hero versus these. How much money are we going to make in a long run trying to figure out if it's good to hero these guys? We're not making I mean, dude, like spending so much time trying to wonder if heroing random people who triple barrel on 4-line boards, we're not going to get rich doing that. Like the money, it's infinitely small over the long run trying to find out if hero calls are good. Value betting and that kind of shit is where we're going to make the bread. If we should be barreling as a bluff on certain runouts, and how much should we be betting for value?
Yeah, you have a good point. I think one interesting piece here is looking if we had any leads, any dogs for top pair.
Sixes, can you go back to the turn and let me see his equity after the button bets? That one there.
This one?
Yeah, so king eight. 8 point, yeah, that's probably still a call with ICM. Cause he's still got 8.34 big blinds equity.
Yeah.
I was,
bet,
I was
yeah.
wondering if it was close to maybe. Find
I
an
mean-
ICM fold on the turn.
It feels like that's gonna be too much to give up to be able to
Yeah.
fold the turn. We'll
Nah,
do.
if it was something like one, maybe, yeah.
Right, I mean, we can do maybe one more. Skater guy, you posted like 7 hands. Aaron, here you go. I got you for one now. I get Aaron, then I get my man Skate. How the fuck you slow this down? Okay. Heads up. $33. We are.
It's like an FT or something.
Yeah, heads up.
Heads up. on
Human
that.
raises. We're like 23 effective deep heads up.
Is this a sit and go? Cause there's no innies.
No, it's a $30 tournament, 12.5K.
There's a
Maybe,
penny.
maybe it is a sit and go, looking at it now, yeah.
No, it's just a small 33 PKO.
Okay.
Oh, the replayer's not showing the ante in the pot.
Yeah, it's not showing it in the pot, but it's showing the $300 ante, a 300 ante.
All right, so this is interesting. He uses a small size on this board, right a fucking way. I'm only check raising, like right away on this board.
Yeah, you need protection.
100% a check raise here. For me, anybody just calling this, and if you are check raising, I'm curious to see what your multiplier is.
5x.
5x for Peter. Matt, you check raising or calling?
Oh, I'm
5x
raising.
for Peter.
Yeah, that's sounds about close.
5. Okay, let's see what he does.
I
Go
3.5.
big.
I go 3.5.
Oh.
Yeah, 4x.
Wait a minute. Whoa. What the fuck just happened? That got crazy quick. I mean,
Yeah,
what
it
happened? Holy shit.
No, there were so many draws. I was like, buy more on it.
If you push the next button instead of the arrow, it goes one movement at one play at a time.
Oh, okay. Good God. Oh,
So he clicks you back?
No.
No, he went 3x back on us.
Yeah,
3x.
so
Is there
Goat
any folds
clicked
here?
it.
I don't think there is. I
Go
didn't.
went for it. Yeah.
You're just
No.
heads up. That's gonna go broke here, probably.
Unfortunate, heartbreaking. You know damn well you're dead. But
There's a ton of.
God, man.
I mean, I thought Jack 10 of spades, maybe.
I mean, that's got a shit ton of equity against you though, but
Well, yeah, but what the hell am I going to do? Fold?
Exactly.
Also, Jack 10 of spades got there.
I mean, dude, looking at it, I can't imagine like.
it's gonna tell you to go broke with top pair, top kicker, yeah.
That's what I thought. I just wanted a little assurance that was a good move.
Yeah, I mean, we're check raising. Can we do we have heads up here? Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Heads
yeah.
up, sit and go.
There's enough flushes there that's gonna warrant
So
the
click over
10x to
all the
go
way
all
to the
in, or
left.
That's
Oh,
what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
heads
Yeah.
up. Oh,
That's what it's gonna
oh,
I
go
could do
back to
10 of
MTT.
these. Oh. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And then we had 25 to start the hand. He raised the 2. I was wondering about my king 10 too. Yeah, it's just pure call.
Nice that I can jam all my offsuit aces, though.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. Yeah, you still jam all the offsuit aces. I was
up,
wondering if
yeah.
some of the other kings were in there. The board was 10-6-5. 10-6-5. We check and
Oh, he
Quarter
he
pots.
led, didn't he?
No, check quarter.
no,
pot.
we fucking check, right? You got me,
Oh, we're big, yeah. So he check, he bet.
bro. Stop baiting me. You got me confused. I've been here too long. So we check, and then he went. Did he go small?
Quarter pot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, small.
Oh man, it's pure. No, I don't think there's a damn thing you can do. We check raise to 5. Or was it 3?
He went 4, but 5 or 3.
That's it. And then
sides.
for him, his sets. What are his sets?
He
Oh, he's
might
only
just
supposed to
be-
call.
He's only supposed to call, yeah.
Yeah, he's not raising much anything here.
What if
When
we
he
does
does,
jam?
it's
If let's hypothetically say he just goes all in, never folding. No,
It doesn't matter. You're still calling anything.
you're just dead.
He
Then you
clicks you
go
back,
all
you
in.
jam it.
Yeah, he clicks you back, you jam it. You're cooler.
Yeah,
You're damned
approved
if
punt.
you
Approved
damned
punt.
if you don't, son. Not a punt. Cooler off the face of the
Yeah,
earth.
you're just dead no matter what.
Yep.
You're
And we'll
going broke
do
with your tens.
uno mas. I'd rather show this hand. All right, Kanish, he's out of here. Thanks for hanging out. All right, cool. He's gone. This is an Iron Man study group. We study till each
Five-handed
man just falls off.
We open.
Yeah, I think I was wondering if I played kings correctly here. I think so.
Cash game,
Against the big
okay.
blind.
Oh, this is cash game.
Yeah, cast game.
1-2
So
no.
is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, with
Ace on the
queens,
board, always an ace.
Don't we check? Do we ever check here?
In position.
Versus big blind.
I kind of always
Well-
check.
I think this is the
If
one.
you find you mostly check, but if you find kings to bet, it's kings with the king
With
of
the
clubs
king of
and king of
clubs.
diamonds.
With the club, yeah.
And I know we have those ace high boards we saw earlier where we were betting range, but this is a
Now,
100%.
Would 9s and 10s be betting here though?
No,
What'd you
more
say earlier?
likely
So
because they
you
need
would
more so.
rather bet with the king of what? Diamonds and.
Club. With the suit there, so you got backdoor flush.
We're not on cash.
Okay.
I
By the
know.
way.
Yeah, and the whole range is gonna be fucked. It's not even close, right? Like it's
You
the
can show
ranges
the
and everything are different. You can
you
look
show
at
the
it for
first hand if you want.
tournaments.
Change it. The first hand is queen hand if you want to change it or whatever.
There is a
Rather
cash tab in GTO Wizard.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, it's a
own
separate
it.
I
subscription.
mean, if you want to do the queen hand instead, I mean, the first one. That's better. First one, yeah, because that one was a cash hand.
I think you played that fairly well with the kings.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Back in the then, because he could have an ace, so just check back. At the flop, at the turn, and then check back. I had a lot of suit. Okay, so
Big blind defend again.
yeah, I opened.
Yeah.
He defend.
Like
I
Hold
checked
up.
out.
means.
I just had to check back
Nah,
on the you know on the I don't know why maybe I should be betting here because it's
yeah,
suited.
Are you
Back
kidding?
here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a full.
Straight
oh,
forward.
man.
Yeah, I should range bet.
Tons of
Hell no, I'm not checking.
no, it's not a range bet, but queens are
range bet,
betting
but-
there.
Yeah. But at the
Back
same
in
time,
the
when
tenor
I
fold.
don't bet, see, look what he does here on the turn. I guess I'd let him kind of bluff. He picks up
Problem is
equity on,
there's
on the
so
turn.
much value
when
to
you
get from a
cap your-
jack and from
yourself like
draws,
that.
and then
puts me in a
you
hard
have
spot.
turns that freeze you guys all up, right? Or
Yeah.
This is what I'm
if-
talking. Okay,
I mean,
here you go.
Oh, this
Bet
is a
it
range
all.
bet.
100%.
Look at that. There's
Every day.
no
75.
way.
Check.
Yeah, there's just we look from earlier today when we were looking at our aggregate reports. Remember, paint, high card, paint boards, pair boards, bet.
No.
Paint, pair, bet 100%. Paint, pair, bet.
That's why I
The low
posted because
card shit. Yeah,
I thought I was
What?
like making a big mistake by not betting.
a gigantic mistake.
That mistake.
It's funny that you did that in game because in game I'd be too scared not to bet with this hand on that flop. Be
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
there's
Oh
no way.
baby, yes. Oh yes, get his ass,
Pain.
Seabass.
Pain.
the ace. But look
Now
what
he's
happens.
supposed
Look
to check and he leads.
Well,
Ethan.
now you're gonna get him bluff
Yeah.
catch. Well played, you
do I
genius.
fold? Do I fold? No.
Oh,
Dude,
never.
hell, motherfucker.
No, don't fold. No. There you go.
Guy can
And
show
then
you an
this
ace.
and
to left
fold on
call.
every-
Hearts get
He
there.
gives up. He gives up on the river, which
Oh,
You
no,
can't
that's
value
awesome.
bet it
maybe
either.
maybe he should continue, right? I mean, he's supposed to.
should
This
bluff
is the
9-8.
definition of a low
Like what?
stakes tournament. This is like mistakes on every street. This is low stakes. This is low stakes poker, and what you will see. There's mistakes from both players on all straights. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of the river, I think you played your hand well, and he should never not show down here. I guess he gets shook when you call here, and he feels like he shouldn't bluff anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the big league. I mean, most players do not bluff the river in low stakes. That's the thing here, right? Like, he should be, but yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta call it. I've been going for fucking how long? Jesus.
3 hours.
2 hours for me, 2.5 hours.
3.5
These guys are for
hours.
so long that I
Session,
started
man.
my session an hour ago.
Yeah, so we started at 12:30, 1, 2, 3:30. Cool. But more importantly, I hope you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. It's been helping me out tremendously. I know I've been getting some DMs from you guys saying how beneficial this has been for your games. So if you guys are enjoying this, man, we really appreciate the compliments and letting other people know, get this group better so we can dedicate more resources to it. I'll continue to put in more time as the numbers stay strong and continue to grow. And I really appreciate you guys' suggestion on helping this improve these sessions and with ideas and stuff like that so we can all improve faster. So keep those coming. If there's any kind of content or anything you guys want to work on, this shit is for you guys. It ain't just for me as well. So let me know. And if you guys enjoy this, let JL and those guys know as well. So, but any final thoughts? I'm not gonna pull the plug right away because if there's any final thoughts that you picked up from the day, final words that you guys want to leave with, that's cool as well.
I mean, one final question about this hand. I mean, at low stakes, let's say if he is theoretically bluffing, is he more often gonna, let's say he's not balanced, is he more often gonna use a big all-in size when he is bluffing, I would believe, as opposed to a small value size like 50% pot?
Impossible to know without your opponent.
Yeah.
There's the different strokes for different folks. Some cats want a half pot, snap half pot bluff. Some cats want to just pot bluff. Sometimes you have to know your opponents. Go ahead, Joey.
In small stakes, half pot is the most suspicious size they throw at you.
They'll hit the half pot button and close their eyes, like, and just hope it works. That's something I've seen. Is half pot is very bluffing.
Right, so it's my job to figure out who I'm playing against.
Yep.
All right.
Just a quick note to everybody, kind of what we touched on today. Jaffe had a really good session on Tuesday with exploitatively overbetting 150% on turn. And Affleck had a really good big bet on flop session yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, make
So,
sure to check
thanks
out that
lots of-
content. Hey, thank you, Larry, and good luck to you guys.
Yeah.
If anybody else had anything, feel free.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't been checking out Matt Affleck's stuff, you gotta check out all of his videos.
So you're muted.
I'm muted.
Yeah, you're muted. I thought you were trying to say something.
Oh, I was just mumbling myself. Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
everybody knows Affleck. Go get the
Yeah, make sure. I mean, he's always putting in the work. He has some high level stuff, and maybe I talk to him and get him in this study session one day. That's giving me an idea. We've been talking to him on the side a little bit because he's a friend of ours, and maybe if he has the time between travel, he can come in here and hang out. So, but yeah, I got some ideas. Try to make this better, but nonetheless, I'll be back next Thursday. If you guys want to come in and show some support to the cash game study group, I'm trying to get rolling as well on Tuesdays. It's not as refined as this, but it will be good in the long run. And that's happening every Tuesday at about the same time as well.
Who in the world plays cash besides you and Skeet on that?
Make it. Oh man, it's so rough. I know. I know, but
they win.
All right, guys. Good luck out there. Thank you. And
thanks for this.
Hey, thank you, man, for being here. I appreciate that. And good luck, guys. Take care and let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Peace.